All right. Good evening to anybody watching live, and good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching. If you watch the replay, my name is Marty. I go by Jiminy Flip It here on YouTube, reseller on eBay primarily, but we also have an Etsy store and a Discog store as well. This is the first live show. Just going to kind of give it a whirl. We're going to talk reselling. I have a special guest I'm going to bring in just one moment. His name is Travis Griffin, and he is from Digital Jazz. So a big hand. Let's bring on Travis. Travis.
Hey,
welcome.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be here.
Yeah, that my first guest. This is a big moment. We're gonna have a salute.
Is that
with,
vodka?
Yeah, what's it?
Yeah, yeah, sweet.
It's Deer Park on the rocks.
Okay. I got coffee in my son's mug.
Beautiful.
On the rocks.
On the rocks. Speaking of the rocks, Travis is from the great state of Colorado. I understand, right?
That's right. We met here in Colorado Springs, and
nice.
Seems to be a home of a few resellers that I ever catch on YouTube and Instagram every once in a while. So it's always fun to watch their videos and see where they head. And it's like, hey, that's where I go, or that's where I go.
Is it a hotbed out there, you think, for sourcing? Is it a pretty good location?
I do. My wife and I mainly do estate sales. We haven't gone to a thrift store in over a year, and I don't miss it. But we do estate sales mainly, and it's a military place. A lot of people in the military, whether Army or Air Force, they retire here. So they have, at this point, they have lots of Korean and Vietnam and, military type collectibles and stuff. And so it's fun to get those things because that's not as well spread everywhere else. So
certainly. That's fantastic.
Cool to have that here.
Nice market too, right? There's a lot of people that are interested in that stuff. So that's great to have a resource like that.
You learn a lot. Yeah.
What do you I didn't mean to turn this into an interview, but I just figured while we're here, I'd love to pick your brain a little bit. What do you with Digital Jazz, what do you guys specialize in? Do you have like a niche that you hone in on? Are you kind of widespread? What do you sell?
So my wife, she has her own store called Nim's Cave, which is our dog. She specialized primarily in books, vintage and antique books. Cool. Stuff that she either read when she was a kid, like the Scholastic series and stuff like that. But there's, like I said, a lot of people retire here, so there's a dearth, if that's a word. If
that sounds like one to me.
I think it's a word of what I mean it to be, of lots of like old vintage antique stuff around here. So she gets that stuff all the time. Me, I like ephemera. Watching some of the YouTube shows like Auction Professor and Brian. I just love ephemera because it's just so unique, and you can set the value on it. It means something to somebody, right? And it always feels so good to hook somebody up with something like that.
Yeah, I agree totally. Stuff that you and I might not think means much, when you're looking at it. Like you said, somebody's going to find it interesting. I'm always amazed by that. How, it's almost like an old mantra. Everything sells. Like there's a market for everything out there. It's certain things.
Everything
my wife and I, my wife and I are big estate sale fans. What's that?
Some things take too long.
They do, but you have to have patience. You have to have patience, and that's where research comes into play sometimes, right? You get a sense of like how long certain items take to sell, but then not everything is so cut and dry like that. A lot of it, and I like that stuff too. I like the hunt for something kind of unique and fun. And
the adrenaline and you get from just walking in, and that's why the kind of stuff that we buy is still there at an estate sale on the last day for 50% off. That's I'm not going to get there at 5 a.m. on Friday or Thursday and try to get the 3 LPs that have some value or the video game system that everybody else wants. Screw that. So the third day when it's 50% off and my wife and I can walk around the house and just find linens or whatever for nothing is the time we like to do it. It's fun, something fun to do together. You were saying you and your wife do something similar?
Same thing. Yeah, we love the estate sales. We just got into them maybe I guess about 2 years ago. And we're coming up, we have pretty loud. I'm in Pennsylvania. We're not quite as cold as you guys most likely, but it's chilly on right now. Chilly out there right now. And the estate sales, although they have them in the wintertime, they're not nearly as populated or populous or whatever the word is. That's another question. Is that a word?
Dearth.
The dearth of availability
I don't know.
Is limited. But in springtime, I mean, last year, I remember, it sounds silly. Most people, like, their best month is typically fourth quarter, right? Everybody talks about fourth quarter. my best month, we've only been about 3 years full time. Our best month every year has been March. Why March? That seems March, but like leaps and bounds better than a lot of the other months. And it's usually because that's when we hit the estate sales. Right around now, mid-February to like early April, for whatever reason, there's a dearth of estate sales in our area, and we do really well. And like you said, you know, we started out with the same thing, waiting in line. And the last couple of years with the virus, we've, you know, they would give out numbers and stuff, and you had to have the mask on, and you had to wait. They would only let 10 people in at a time, and that was kind of frustrating. So to get ahead of that, we would probably show up earlier for those, just because we feared that like we'd never get in, you know, depending on. And you know, this, do you guys look at any of those websites like estate.org or something like that to try to get a sense of what's going on around you?
Definitely subscribe to statesales.net is the one I use. I did recently find that other one. It occasionally finds something else that's not on estatesales.net, but I think for the people around here that put them on, they're usually on estatesales.net for us.
Cool. Okay. Hey, Tracy, 1987 Ventures is here.
Hey.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. First show, Tracy. We're just going to kind of wing it. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk reselling. Got Travis here out in Colorado. Yeah, estate sales, definitely. And like I said, I'm looking forward to probably within the next week or two, we should get involved with those and hopefully pick up some cool new stuff to look up.
So you're saying the floodgates will open.
Floodgates should open.
Storing up all their stuff.
Ramping up for March. I mean, March is Jiminy Flip It season. March. Every March.
Cool.
I don't know why, but it's, you know, I'm a big number. I think you said you are too, right? You like numbers and statistics.
Yeah.
And usually they don't lie. They could be manipulated, but they don't usually lie. And March. I don't know what it is about March, but we do really well.
Speaking of numbers, did you send Tracy her $20 yet for showing up, or?
You had to mention that. See, that was supposed to be private information there, man.
Sorry. Oh, that was one of the things you wanted me to put in the private chat. My bad.
Right. See, there's a learning curve.
It's the first show.
Show. Live TV. Now we know how Milton Berle felt in 1948. You know what I mean? Well ahead of me, haven't done. Well, I hope you do, Tracy. And if you want us to come on, we'd both be delighted, I'm sure, just to say hi to everybody.
Now, I think it was Tracy. She just took us into her barn. Do you have is it a reseller barn, Tracy?
Oh, yeah. Those are popular. Sheds or something like that, where they have a lot of people have the sheds. Tracy's is an actual barn.
I don't know. I don't know what she terms it. I don't want to speak. Could be a dearth of stuff.
For those wondering, today's word is.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look up dearth real quick because I bet we've used it wrong every time. Let's just see what that is. It's the polar opposite of how we're using it, actually. The scarcity of something. Right. Yeah, completely.
We're using it as if it's a plethora. Let's replace dearth with plethora.
Let's do that.
There's a plethora of estate sales in the springtime around. Yeah.
Yeah, a dearth right now.
It's currently a dearth.
Okay, cool.
But the dearth is, like I said, we're in the, what are we, the 7th? About a week or two. The proverbial ice should melt. And we should be able to,
what side of Pennsylvania are you on?
We are extreme southeastern, just about 5 minutes from the Delaware border, which is like
I didn't know Delaware had it. I didn't even know that was still around. So
they hardly qualify as a county, let alone a state. But no, there's a plethora of estate sales in Delaware, a town called Wilmington, which is some areas not so good, but some areas are very, very nice, like the suburban Wilmington, if you will. It's a tiny city, but they have, like most cities, a little suburbia area. That suburbia area is a hotbed for us. We're always, it's 10 minutes from me. We're like,
what are you looking for when you go into a suburban area compared to, say, something out in the rural area?
Well, suburban, I mean, it's speaking in generalities. I mean, the larger houses, like we go to states.org and stuff like that. We also have a couple of people, which I have, you can't see it, but I have business cards up here on a wall next to me of some of the guys that run the estate sales and ladies that run the estate sales, which is a great bit of advice. If anybody likes estate sales, it's always good to get like a business card from the people running it. Ask them about, how often you'll get tips. You'll get little heads ups. Hey, we're going to go Saturday to so-and-so's house. And if you let them know the stuff, like you guys are into books or your wife's into books, Travis, sometimes you'd be surprised. You just say, hey, if you come across any books, just, send me an email or send me a message. Like everything else in life, it's like relationships and stuff like that really seem to work well. And We have like, I mean, we don't have a plethora
from that.
What's that?
What's a good? So I've always dreamt of that, and I've heard of that happening. But
oh yeah. Well, I mean, like if you want to just say books, for instance, for the sake of argument, right? If your wife's into old books, you go to an estate sale or two, especially if it's run by, in our area, there's like the same company or same handful of companies seem to do the majority of these estate sales. So like after we didn't do this the first time we went, obviously, but like after 2 or 3 times, hey Joe, I'm making up the name, it's not Joe, but hey Joe, how you doing? Like when you go to check out and pay at the end, usually the guy or the gal is there and you give them the money. Oh, say, hey, do you have a business card? Yeah. Oh, when's your next sale? Oh, we haven't announced it yet. That's always great too. We haven't announced it yet, but next Saturday we're going to be in whatever town. Oh, great. We're big book buyers. So please, if you get there, they always get their days before the actual sale, obviously, right? To clean up and organize stuff and stage it, as they say. So we try to say, if you come across any books that you think we might be interested, I'd really appreciate it. Or if you could just let me know at a certain estate sale if there's an inordinate amount of books available, I'd really love to know, because I'll mark it on my calendar, something like that, just to break the ice. And then, like, as you mentioned records before, I love records because I love music, and we have hundreds of records in here, hundreds, probably 1,000 at this point, which doesn't sound like that many, but it's a lot. I mean, considering we had nothing a year ago, they're heavy, but they sell and they're hot. We're going to go into that later.
They sell if you list them.
They sell if you list them. If you let them sit and back you or pile up. I mean, they look really cool.
Yeah, I'm just taking your word for it, because I have yet to list any of the hundreds of records I have.
Oh, really? It's time well spent, man. And are you familiar with Discogs?
Yes. Yeah.
I was going to show that for anybody who might be interested. It's a great resource. It's like a database for every record under the sun, virtually. Really good resource. I usually go there first just to get a sense of, like, let's say I have a record I just happen to have.
All right. I see that Rachel Griffin has joined.
Hi, Rachel.
I know her.
Do you?
Yeah, she's pretty. I like her a lot.
Ooh. Not that has any bearing. All of our guests are pretty.
No, anybody's welcome to your show, I assume, right? They don't have to just be pretty.
Within reason.
Okay.
I'm going to try to find a really bizarre one, but entertain the folks.
Tracy says she does a sign-up book at some of these places. I wonder if they've ever called her as a result of that. I'd be interested to hear.
Yeah. And you're saying, Tracy, there aren't many around you at the moment other than major high-end ones. Yeah, and that's, there's good and bad with that, I guess, right? Because that's the ones that everybody's going to want to go to. We try to find hole in the walls. You know what I mean? Like, those are the best. Those are the best homes. My wife, God bless her, she's the best. She will literally dive into piles of junk and, leave no stone unturned. She will find, without question, she'll always find something that nobody else. You hit it on the head, Travis. Like, most people go in with an agenda. Like in our area, again, there's like tool guys that just want, like, they'll hit the garage and they want all the tools or something. There's record guys that just zone in on the records. There's tons of jewelry people. A lot of the estate sales we go to, the living room, for whatever reason, is where they stage all the jewelry in these boxes. And there's a horde of people that go for that. There's people that go for pottery. There's people that go for little knickknacks. I mean, there's usually a area you want to hone in on. We're pretty much wide open. Like, we'll go in there with an open mind. We love paper like you, ephemera. So I look for, like, old magazines. We do a lot of my business is old print ads from old magazines that we cut out. And you could get these magazines for dirt cheap. I'm going to have a video coming out on that whole topic shortly, by the way. But, so we look for old books.
Spoiler alert, man.
Spoiler alert. But hey,
no.
Spoiler alert, or a good marketing tactic. I'm not sure. But it is true. I'm literally in mid-production of that. But the print ads from the magazines, old books, silly things. I have so much around me, but I have this silly green screen in back of me. It's limiting my motion.
Wait, that's a green screen?
That's a green screen.
Whoa, dude! I thought you had that many CDs or whatever that is back there.
I do. That's albums, but that's not the real ones.
Oh, okay. It's one of those. It seems like a Spaceballs thing where Mayor Spaceball or whatever it is, and it's Lord Spaceball would have like a projector screen of all his action figures, and then he'd lift a projector screen, and behind it was all his action figures. That's kind of what
that is kind of fun. Big Helmet, right? Is that what he's called? The Darth
Big
Vader
Helmet.
Big Helmet.
I don't know if that's what he's called. Someone's called.
Hey,
Yeah.
Not the size of your helmet that matters anyway. So
No.
they will sometimes. I'm just trying to read some of this chat. Tracy writing up a storm. I appreciate that. Emailing to
Tracy wants
yes,
to know if your
exactly.
wife fell through a hole in the ground and found that like secret area, like a
I have a video on that, Tracy, where she found. I'm not kidding. She found a hidden door in the basement. Literally, this was my favorite estate sale. It was around this time last year. It led to our big march. But long story short, if you watch the video, you'll see it. But she literally found the guy must have been the most prolific man that ever walked the earth, because he had like guidebooks on plumbing, electrical work. I think he was an engineer at some point. He's a World War II vet, and he had all this stuff, just loads. Like it kind of looked like my green screen, but with real books and manuals and everything under the sun. And my wife, literally, she was on the floor looking for these papers, and she went like this. It was like a secret door. I'm not even kidding. It's in the video, and the door opens up, and like nobody was over there. So like she was alone in the basement. We ran in. We got
Did you close the door behind you just to like make sure no one else came in there?
Are you familiar with Young Frankenstein, Travis?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Put the candle back. Remember the scene?
Yeah.
No, but nice. She did. She doesn't care. She's like, it's an open house. It's a free for all. She gets dirty. She jumps in. You saw the video, Tracy. Thank you. Yeah, that's the truth. It was unbelievable.
Tracy, are you sure you didn't? You only paid Tracy $20.
Well,
like
$20
out here.
20 per comment, but I don't. I don't want to make that. Hey, violation.
Violates copyright strike.
Strike one. Nice to see everybody. Thanks so much for joining.
No,
but yeah,
flip his career right there on YouTube.
Thank you so much.
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. But it was unbelievable. And that's the kind of girl I married. She's not afraid to get in there, and that's what you have to do, because these guys, it's true, they literally stage stuff that they kind of want you to buy. And it doesn't necessarily
it's got some value.
They think is value, or the most popular, popular items, or popular like category of items, if you will, right? Like I said, the jewelry, the tools, for whatever reason, are always in the garage or in the basement. We're big fans of the basement. A lot of good stuff in the basement, but we sell. I was saying about
you go first, basement.
What's that?
You go to the basement first?
It depends. We try to get a quick lay of the land, which is that's always hysterical too. When you first run in, you're like, your eyes, we'll split up, got the phones in hand, for communication purposes. She'll hit one way, I'll hit the other. We always ask right away if there's an upstairs, if it isn't obvious, like if there's an upstairs or downstairs. I know you know the drill. Like sometimes,
is there a magic room? Is
that right? Are you familiar with the magic room?
Yeah, I know to do all that stuff.
And if you don't, now you do.
Yeah.
We always we'll ask, like, is there anything off limits? Sometimes they'll just say, for whatever reason, upstairs, nobody's going up there, no problem. But like, I don't know if you feel the same way. The weird thing about the estate sale thing is after a few of them, like when we were like literally standing in some lady's like bedroom who passed away, the harsh reality is these people passed away. You're standing in their bedroom
right there.
It's just there's a depression involved. Sometimes we're sitting on her bed going, oh, look what I found, and we'll have that moment when we're like, oh my God, how sad is that? But the old adage, you can't take it.
It's weird when you start getting under the sheets. That's when you gotta draw the line. Come on.
Like, ladies' slippers are on the floor. Like, it's something very, I don't know. And people are like scavenging through their bathroom and taking Band-Aids and stuff.
Oh, no, you're right. And I probably have been that guy that grabbed some Band-Aids, to be honest. But I don't feel good about it now. Yeah, I feel bad about it.
Nor should you.
Yeah. But you're right. That is kind of a weird dissonance or something like that, where you have that moment. First, you're in a frenzy, right? You're just you're foaming, you're throwing people left and right.
Full sweat.
Like, where's the secret door?
Right.
You find the secret door, and then you realize, man, there was like real humans in here.
They sure were.
Never thought a whole bunch of jerks like us were going to show up
and start rampage through the
taking their electrical manuals, man.
Yeah, to get that 1947 lawnmower. But I swear to you, we sell that stuff. Things literally like old Sears manuals for appliances from the 40s and stuff. We sell them all, and you get them for nothing. You walk up to the guy at the end of the sale with your pack of stuff, and like I'll show him a couple albums. The albums are $1 each, and I'll say, of course you got to shake them down. I'm like, I don't know, man, this one has a little mildew. I'll give it 50 cents. Whatever you got to do. But usually, like anything else, if you go up there with a wheelbarrow full of stuff, you're going to get a deal. And that's another advantage.
They stop counting halfway through.
They stop counting. He's like, give me $50. When you walk up there with a stack of, Sears appliance manuals, stuff like that, they don't even count them. It's like, how many you have? I don't know, 10, 20. Give me $1. Like, you get them for nothing. It's almost stealing.
And then some of them go like $20, $30 sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Depending on everything else, depending on what it is, the scarcity of it. I want to catch up with some of these comments. We have Tracy and the lovely Mrs. Griffin. Unused heartburn medicine. Is that true?
That is true.
Has it been used since? Has it been used? Did you put it to use?
You didn't check everyone to see if they've been like sucked on or anything first, but I think they were sealed but
that's a good thing.
Yeah. We eat a lot of Mexican food here, a lot of Indian and Asian food here, so they do come in handy.
Yeah.
So she's always on the lookout for that kind of stuff.
That's interesting. And I bet you see it, like you head to the bathroom and look for the, Rolaids or whatever you got to get.
Let's just say I've bought a lot of soap before. A lot.
That's hysterical. Tracy heads for the basements, garages, and bathrooms. Yeah. What do you look for in the bathroom, Tracy, aside from heartburn medication and Band-Aids?
Toilet paper back in the day.
Well, a year ago, so 2 years now.
Yeah,
right?
A year ago, you would look for that toilet paper. It was worth its weight in gold.
I will tell you that in the bathroom of some undisclosed estate sale, my wife did come across like it's hard to date everything, but you try to best estimate based on the age of the person, the age of the house, and the overall feel in the house. Probably like a 50s or 60s, like ladies chic razor, like a plug-in razor. Again, $1. They'll sell for like $20, $30, depending on.
So you bought it. I've seen that stuff, just like you say, and I do know it
pick them up.
But
Travis,
I don't want to deal with it, man.
Everything sells. It's a couple of pictures, you know what I mean? Remington, blah blah blah. Done.
Yeah, you got to empty out the hair or whatever.
That's occupational hazard. There, you got
It's not free. You're like, people aren't collecting the hair shavings, right?
No, it's depends on whose house it was.
Yeah, it could be a Kardashian's house.
That's right.
They don't have hair on their legs, though, probably.
No. Perfume. Here we go. Write this down, everybody. Perfume. Barrettes. Berets. Yeah, barrettes. Yeah. Beauty and cleaning project. Yeah, I bet. Obviously, Tracy, you're looking for ideally, right? Brand new, like unopened. Is there anything? I don't think you could sell anything on eBay that's opened anymore. Can you? Like in that arena?
So maybe at the place that I bought, I don't know, 250 freaking pounds of soap. I also bought Biotine. You ever heard what that is?
Is it like a
dry mouth spray?
Oh no, that's not what I thought it was.
This lady, God bless her, I guess she had a dry mouth problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I must have purchased 30 to 50 boxed Biotine sprays for like, I don't know, $10. Because I'm like, hey, some's gonna have value, like some of the stuff Tracy just mentioned.
Yeah.
And I look on there, and sure enough, it does have some sold comps. And then I look at the expiration dates, like 15 years ago, and I'm like,
ooh.
I just couldn't do it. I know it's not going to kill anybody, but man, I don't know. Actually, I don't know it's not going to kill anybody. I assume it's not.
Right, and that's seriously, that's obviously not worth the risk or the
anything you put in your mouth.
Yeah, has potential to do harm. Doesn't matter. Yes, you can. Under collectibles, not health and beauty. Okay.
Yes, you can. What?
Well, I think I was asking, or does it matter if it's like an opened or unopened product or something? I guess it depends, right? Yeah. So you could say collectible Mylanta, and somebody could buy it. You know why? She's right, because I guess like in some instances the bottles themselves are probably collectible, right? Like let's say like the signage is changed on the Johnson's and Johnson's baby powder.
The
label might be different. Right. She got me thinking here. Is that what you do, Tracy? I wonder.
Yeah, anything that looks kind of retro at this point.
You might even be able to just pour out the contents and sell the container.
Maybe use it on your hair first. I don't know. You might as well get. Does shampoo go bad?
That's a good question. I can't see it going bad.
Yeah.
That's a question for somebody with a much higher IQ than mine. I'll ask my wife.
Thank God that wasn't a requirement for us tonight.
Oh my goodness, no.
That'll be another guest you'll have to have on with a higher IQ.
Our next guest. Well, first we'll have to have the live IQ test. That would be.
Oh, yeah, you could do that right here. You could actually pull people right out of the comments.
Here we go. She said that, Tracy, yes, the containers are advertising. That's really cool. So you scavenged through the bathroom. That's really, really cool.
Will Tracy give up one of the brands, or is that kind of keep that close to the vest type thing?
Hey, I mean, this is our community. Don't we help each other here? Plus, people will buy the beauty products they love that are no longer made. Right? Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Do you have, without giving away too much, do you have like just a general, like even like saying like, soap, like is there a specific type of Travis said shampoo? Is there like a Breck shampoo or something that you look for or anything? Or is it, I'm curious because I'll tell you what, now that we know this, and I appreciate this, Tracy, I think my wife is going to be diving through some bathrooms coming up February and March.
Big money.
Big money in them shampoo bottles.
Just imagine how much bathroom stuff has been stored up for that cold winter in Pennsylvania.
It's just very true.
Falling out of that door.
It's really true. Think about your own, not to get too personal, everybody, but think about your own bathroom or your medicine cabinet. Like how much stuff is in there that you use once a decade. Like, you know what I mean? Like everybody has Q-tips. Everybody has these things, but how often do you really, well, maybe not Q-tips, but like growing up or, everybody has toilet paper, but who really uses it?
Yeah. Well,
people
watch
will
out
buy
for like Oxycontin or whatever. You probably don't want to pull those out.
No, that would probably be frowned upon. That would be frowned upon.
Yeah. Not on eBay anyway.
Well, people will buy beauty products they love that are no longer. Yeah, we just read that. That's very, very good advice, Trace. I really appreciate that. We are going to look into that because I can't think of a time other than, like I said, the Schick. I remember the Remington ladies razor. I know we got. Like every once in a while, they'll be like, "What's that?"
Did you test that?
Yeah, no, we really did. Absolutely, not on my person, but yeah, I tested that it plugged in and came on. Yeah, made an annoying buzzing noise. I figured. And even
nowadays, right? You can film it and put it on your eBay listing of you shaving your leg with it.
There you go.
They know truly it works.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. And then when the blood splatters from the cuts, there are a lot. Certain Tracy, plethora of knowledge here. Plethora.
Tracy breaking the internet with
oh, please. There are a lot. Certain soap, toothpaste, deodorant.
Pampers.
Pampers. Now here's what we're gonna say. Unused. We're gonna make that declaration. Although
again,
you can buy
the Kardashians' house.
Comp, and you will find out. Very cool. And Tracy, there's a big thank you. Why don't you put a link to your YouTube page right there in the comments for everybody? Because you've been a wealth of knowledge for us tonight.
Did she need like a wrench or something to do that, or?
I don't think so. Give it a try, and if you have any trouble, Tracy, let me know, and I'll figure out a way to do it. But that's very cool. Yeah, so estate sale season comes to Pennsylvania shortly, and I can't wait.
Now, are you going to film? Do you go in there with the GoPro or whatever and do this, or what?
Yeah, we only did last spring. We did maybe one or two of them, but I think this year, yeah, hardcore, we're going to go in there virtually every time. And even that, I'm sure there's like almost like an unwritten rule about certain things, and I have to find out like if people frown upon that, if you're allowed to just kind of walk in there. And I guess if we were in the secret room like we were, and there's nobody around, I have no problem filming that.
Was there electricity in that room?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not kidding. It was like a big, thick wooden door that just, and there was a whole other area.
My wife, so we found an old home here in the Springs, and this was a detached cellar of a room. Okay. And they literally had put a sign up that says, "Watch your step, not responsible for death or dearth or whatever could occur in this." And this place had dirt floors, and it was like his wood shop. But he was also, he traveled and he had military stuff down there. And oh my God, it was, you thought you could die at any moment, but it was worth it. And my wife was down there. She was doing what your wife was. She was in there rifling through stuff, just throwing it in a box. Take this, take this, take this, take this. And it's a pretty cool place. I like those secret rooms.
Oh God, it's the best. It's literally like playing a board game or something when you're a kid and finding something. It's amazing. And the things again, you'd have to go back and watch the video to see exactly what was in there, but we found tons of stuff, like tons, just tons.
So that was around this time last year. I am going to go look at that video.
Yeah, I think the video probably is from March or April, but I think we went to the estate sale in probably March. The date should be on there. Yeah, check it out. It's fun. But to answer your question, yeah, we're definitely going to go out there this season, and put on the old GoPro. And of course, I don't want to show people. Obviously, you don't want to show people's faces and stuff without their knowledge. But I think somebody else mentioned that in the video too. Like if you're just walking around and it's like incidental and somebody's, especially if it's like their back, is no big deal. But I'm not going to like go up to an individual and
maybe interview them for like, hey, I have a reseller.
Would you like to be on?
Yeah. Would you like to be on it?
Would you like to be on it? Yeah. So what are you looking for? That's actually a unique idea. Nobody does that.
No one's doing that.
Nobody's doing
that. What do you like to get out of this weekend? Yeah. How much thousands do you want to get out of here?
Yeah.
Dude. Genius.
Hold on. Where's the pencil?
Write that down.
Interview segment. You laugh, but just like everything sells, everything's a video nowadays too. So
maybe find the ones that Primetime's been banned from. And like, hey, what can we do to have a relationship here?
That's right.
Yeah,
we're looking to make amends because we understand somebody was banned.
We know what he did.
We know what he did, and he's ashamed to this day. He's ashamed. I assure you, our intentions are pure.
Tracy, where do you wear your GoPro? Is that a head mount? I've seen the chest and the shoulder mount.
You got the chest. My wife got me this GoPro last January for my birthday. Or was it Christmas or my birthday? I think it was my birthday. My birthday just passed in January. And it comes, you get the GoPro proper, which I'm actually using as a webcam right now. It's pretty cool. Not bad.
It's nice. It's good condition.
Yeah, not bad. But it comes with a plethora again of accessories. Like you said, they literally have like a head mount. They have a chest mount, which is like this big strap thing. They have a traditional, like just handheld thing. They have a little tripod, and she got me it, which was fantastic. There's 100 attachments. I've used like 3 of them, but the 3 I've used have been fantastic. And it's really simple to attach them. Great product. Really, really cool product. Crystal clear
video. Do you use them for anything else than reselling?
What, the GoPro? Yeah, like if we go travel and stuff like that. We're big Disney people, so we love to go to Disney. It takes beautiful video. Yeah.
All right.
Really nice.
I know Rachel Griffin. She's in the chat. She's a huge Disney person.
Is Rachel Griffin? Is that what you hear? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're huge. We're annual pass holders for years and stuff, so we go all the time.
Now they did away with that or something, right?
Well, it's funny. They did away with it, then they brought it back, but it was completely revamped. Like the system itself, the types of passes, the names, a lot of the features and bells and whistles were taken away, like everything else Disney's been doing. But that's a whole other topic. But okay, yeah,
that's not what this show's about.
That's not what this show's about. But we're wide open. So if you want to talk Disney,
yeah,
we're always up for that too.
Well, you got to listen to the crowd here, and the crowd is like Tracy's talking about a chest strap, but a shoulder strap, and try it on a backpack. You're trying to be sort of discreet with it. I think. I don't know. Again, we've been to a bunch, but I haven't seen people walking around with these things like. It's not common. The people that go to the estate sales, again, by us, again, I don't mean to like stereotype or anything, but it's true. They're usually older people, retirees and stuff like that are collectors that are into these things. There's a handful of young bucks like us that are resellers. But I'll tell you, I think that's a good thing. There's not like a horde of resellers. At least we haven't seen. That's cool. That's good.
Yeah, it's usually older people that are genuinely into this stuff and collect. God knows what they do with these tools. Maybe they do sell them, but let them have their tools. They
probably are, that generation knows actually how to fix mechanical objects.
Exactly.
I sure as heck don't.
No, we just buy new ones of everything,
Exactly.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Other generations, something as stupid as a shoe. Like, your shoes are a precious item, and you went to the cobbler and you got your shoes fit. We're like, what? It's got a scratch? New pair.
Now, there's another option. How about a cobbler channel on YouTube? How about a cobbler show?
It's all about demand. It's all about supply and demand. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If Rachel needs a cobbler, well, maybe we'll do a cobbler segment. That's what we could do. We could
let's start with a segment first.
This is brought to you by
maybe a poll on your channel.
That's all.
I know you love the YouTube, the reseller stuff, but how many here vote for a cobbler? series.
At least a 10-minute segment of Cobbler 101, if you will. You know what I mean? We'll get a. I don't even know what's involved with cobblering. I guess you need some sort of a box to put the shoe
I think you need like an elf.
Well,
first off, you got to start with an elf, or
you got to start with an elf,
something like that.
You know, and finding a good elf nowadays, it's not as easy as it used to be. You know, there used to be a dime a dozen. Nowadays,
they're all gone. They've gone.
They're all union. You know, once they went to the union, they went to the unions, and
then, the union screwed it up.
They just screwed up the whole thing.
They don't just show up just because someone asks them to a YouTube channel. Exactly. No, they get paid.
That's right. They want it, and they want something in advance. They want like a deposit down before they even think about showing up at your establishment. So I don't know if it's worth the hassle, but you know, we'll explore it. If the fans want it, we'll have to do a cobbler.
There's one fan right there. She's tried to find a cobbler. Impossible.
Impossible, right?
Yeah. Look at Tracy with real.
Tracy getting into the shoes too. Here we go. Nice leather boots with bad heels.
Actually, here's what. Now that I'm talking to Tracy live, here's what it sounds like. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I actually was. Have you seen her barn video? It was like a recent one, I think.
I have not, and we need to address
this. Check out her barn one, because it's like, I'm trying to figure out, Tracy, if you get sick or you die or anything like that, is it possible that, I mean, that's a little extreme.
Yeah,
but is there a way that I could get into the barn like hierarchy of getting that left to me? Because that barn is like crazy. It's got all the good stuff in it. That's where you want to go, you know, treasure hunt for barn.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, getting back to cobblering for just a second, it looks like she's open to do a little cobbler video here.
There you go.
Thrift some leather boots with bad heels and show how to replace them. It's all about originality, Tracy, right? You know, I think we need to be original.
Doing that. Nobody's doing that.
Who's repairing heels on YouTube?
It's now a race between you and Tracy to get that video posted.
Just remember where you got the idea from, or where the discussion took place anyway.
Yeah.
That's all. We're just, you know what I mean? We're trying to expand.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah, I know she will.
She burns the barn down just like money, because her cobbler stuff just takes off.
Yeah, Tracy, let us know about this barn video. I have not seen that yet, so I will definitely check it out. I don't know if Travis is fibbing over here or if he's being honest about this, but
no,
I've seen him. I know a lot of people, it seems to be pretty common for whatever reason. People have sheds where they put all their eBay stuff and stuff. Have you seen that, Travis? There's a bunch of guys. I can't think of the names right now.
When we first got into this last summer, we got hooked on the Shed Flips show, who he had just created, or he had built or whatever, or ordered a big shed and just turned it into his full-time business. So yeah, definitely.
Cool.
We don't have a shed. We have a guest room though.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a basement.
A basement. Yeah.
We have a basement.
There was once floor space. He said it's gone. It's like lava. It's not lava you fall on, it's money.
That's right.
It's records and video game consoles you trip over. Yeah.
Exactly. Is that you're into video games? You know, that's another thing, believe it or not. I know they're very popular. We're not like
I'm not anymore.
Okay.
Because we'll go ahead and finish what you're saying.
No, I'm curious what your thoughts are, because I'm not like not to date myself, but like I was like a teenager already when Atari came out. So like I never really got.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old? Can you ask that? Is that
mid-50s? Mid-50s.
Oh, okay.
So like when Atari, late 70s, I guess it came out, I was like 12, 13 or something like that. So I liked Atari when it came out, and we played a little bit. And then it kind of, I don't know if you remember any of this, but the whole craze kind of faded a little bit. And then all of a sudden it came back. There was like in television, there was a thing called ColecoVision, which looked light years better than Atari. And then that just deteriorated because there was supposedly it was like destroying people's televisions. And then it just vanished. And all of a sudden I remember like 86, 87, the Nintendo stuff came out. It all came back. Like, so I was way too old to get in. Not too old, but you know what I mean? I didn't care about video games.
You telling me you didn't have a Nintendo?
No, absolutely not. I was working and grown guy. Yeah, didn't have a Nintendo. So I'm not up on video games. And I know when PlayStation first came out, I remember I did get a PlayStation because I couldn't believe that you could put a CD. It seemed revolutionary. When you're used to Atari, I was like, oh my God, A disc for a game?
You went from Atari to PlayStation.
Yeah, I seriously did.
That's
Yeah,
like
that was
going 50 years into the future.
yeah, it really was. It was
Saw
mind-boggling.
your
So with all
grandkids.
that
Yeah.
said, I don't know video games. Like, so
Okay.
the floor is
Well,
yours. Like,
okay, so that's how I got started at the beginning of the pandemic,
mhm,
because it was something that my son, who what was he? He's 14 at the time, 13 at the time. He was kind of into retro games, and we had caught a couple videos of people that would go and find games at Goodwill or whatever, and then flip them for a
mhm,
profit, and
mhm,
use that money to build up their. They created this weird false nostalgia. Like, I didn't care about video games until the guy told me I should care about video games. I'm like, hold up, he's rebuilding his childhood right here for free. I want to do
mm.
that. So
Interesting.
then we started doing that. I
Yeah.
still didn't care, but it made me care. That's the psychology of it. But yeah, so I was finding video game consoles. I've got so many video game consoles and video games that I just gotta unload.
Oh, wow.
Um, so I don't pick those up anymore because, one, there's way too much reseller competition around here now, and that's,
Yeah,
like I said, that's the kind of thing you got to get there at 5 a.m.
yeah.
Thursday to get to, and I'm just not going to do it. I
Mhm.
don't want to. But yeah, I mean, so they're still big. People are getting them graded now,
Oh my goodness,
um,
really?
and it's yeah, it's kind of just created its own like kind of Beanie Baby bubble type thing that
Right.
I don't think is going to be around forever, but it's hot right now.
It certainly is. And I always worry about, and I don't disparage anybody that's into all this stuff, but I always worry about scams with those kind of things. To me, those kind of products scream scams, and, people complaining that they didn't get the game and returning a brick or whatever. You always hear about that with
Yeah.
like PlayStation.
Yep.
So that kind of, I'm a little, the lack of knowledge is my number one concern. And then the risk, like cell phones, it's like the most popular thing to sell, but they're by far the worst as far as like returns and scams.
Right.
So like,
You were talking about the analytics, and
yeah, yeah.
you and I were talking about whatever the logistics page on eBay is,
The
and they say
performance,
cell phones, number one.
number one, cell phones. Yep.
Yeah.
But again, with that popularity comes unfortunately a lot of scam artists and all that kind of nonsense. So the good news
Yeah.
is not many people are going to scam you from a 1947, hot point mixer manual.
Right.
There's not a. So
Like, hey, I didn't get the mixer part, and they send back a brick.
well,
This brick was
right.
in this bowl, and it wasn't the mixer.
You just lead me on to other conversations, but again, at estate sales, believe it or not, even if like a mixer, let's say you found an old mixer and it said something, and then you go up and they don't even know if it works, whatever. You could part that stuff out like you wouldn't believe.
I wish
That's a
yeah.
huge market. Parting stuff
I
out.
hate dealing with electronics.
Oh, do you?
Vintage electronics.
Same thing. A
And
lot of
you can part those babies out for way more money.
unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody does that, but Tracy, she's got video content coming. Major collector and has a vault of amazing games and consoles. We look forward to that.
A
Maybe I'll learn
vault?
something. A vault, a secret
She has
room.
a barn and a vault. This is ridiculous.
Well, hey,
this is just a hobby for her. She's not even here for the money. She
no,
doesn't even
exactly.
need it.
Just for the folly.
Yeah.
She's just showing off at this point. That's pretty cool, though. I will watch. I like people that do videos. I'm not plugging anyone, but I don't know if anybody knows Popeye's Postcards. I love his videos because he's a guy who specializes in postcards, right? He was very popular. He quit YouTube about a year and a half ago. Something happened. He gave up, whatever. He just came back a couple of months ago. And people that followed him were like, oh, Popeye's back, right? But what I love about this guy is like, not only does he do good videos and entertaining videos, but he has a whole segment, which is something I'm thinking of doing. If you know a topic really well or a category really well, he's doing like a 15-part series, Postcard 101. You know what I mean? Here's everything you need to know about postcards. Here's how to value them. Here's what to look for. For free. I think I was watching a show a couple nights ago. People were talking about some of the best content on YouTube is free. And guys like that, I think, are just worth their weight in gold. I love that he's willing to share that stuff.
Yeah.
I was with Primetime. I was telling him one time about comic books. I hate to keep saying all these things I don't know about, but I don't know comics, and I know they're super, super, super popular. And I said to him something like that. Hey, do you have a comic book 101 type thing? And he's like, yeah, I have a couple of videos, but how huge would if Tracy goes ahead and does some sort of video game thing, it's really helpful to the community as a whole to learn about something completely foreign to you, especially when they're as popular as comic books and video games. And the postcard, again, I'm just blown away. And he's not like doing a 30-second video. These are like 10-15-minute videos, and he's got 15 of them. I saved the whole playlist. I saved it all because if I want to get into postcards, there I go, from the horse's mouth. His guy's been doing this for 25 years with a high level of success. It's really cool. You like Popeye too, Tracy?
Based on that video.
The video
where he bought 1 million or whatever.
He bought 1 million postcards. Did you watch the video?
Yeah.
Oh, it's hysterical. That's probably the funniest one I've ever seen. But if you go back a little bit,
he was not mincing words. He didn't care about those copyright strikes.
He certainly doesn't. No, he didn't. But I mean, it was genuine. There was nothing phony about it. No. But I thought, that was like the most entertaining thing I ever saw. But if you watch a little bit before when he talks about, like he bought that from eBay. He saw a lot on eBay. It turns out the guy that he bought it from was like a young guy. He was like 20 years old. His grandfather passed away and left him with 1 million plus. It turns out now 1 million plus postcards, just filling up his. You saw the video, right? The basement filled with 300 banker boxes or whatever it was. And he made this whole video about. Before he did the actual video, he was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to leave no stone unturned. I'm going to fly out there. I'm going to rent a truck. I'm going to take it all back because the listing itself, it's funny. It said free shipping. And he's like, how are you possibly going to ship 500 boxes for free?
If a buyer does that to you and you're like, crap, why did I put free shipping? They want that free shipping.
Yeah. So I think he said it was 10 grand he spent, which sounds like a lot of money, but it works out. It works out. It's like the steal of the century. It's like
2 cents a postcard or something, right? After that.
So I mean,
he knows that. He knows postcards.
He knows postcards inside and out, and he did a lot of due diligence before he booked that trip. He didn't just go out there. Hey, and he explains that in a couple of videos before. But my God, but getting back to the point about the fact that he's willing to share that knowledge, I think is fantastic. I love people like that aren't afraid of competition. There's enough postcards out there for a lifetime. And he's like, hey,
I don't know. I think he's got them all now.
He might have just bought them all, but Popeye's postcards. Cheers.
So
man.
what thing are you picking? You're chartering a plane and you're going to pick up for
my wife was just. I showed my wife that video a couple hours ago. I said, you just got to sit here and laugh because it's really funny. But I gave her the backstory, and she said exactly that to me. What would we go out for? Now I will tell you, this is a fraction of the volume of what Popeye did, but about 2 or 3 years ago, one of the reasons we got into these old print ads was my wife was on Facebook groups or something like that. Marketplace, excuse me. We went to an estate sale and we pick up a stack of like 10 Life magazines, I think it was, something like that, right? From the 50s, I believe. And I had watched somebody else's video. I don't remember. I would always give credit if I remembered, but I don't remember who it was. But somebody basically said, hey, did you know that, the magazines themselves, when I looked them up and tried to do comps, they're like, they weren't nothing special. They were like $6 an issue or something, which still would have made us something. We only paid like $10 for the 10, let's say, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I watched the video. Somebody explained, hey, if you open up a Life magazine, and for those who don't know, a Life magazine is about 15 inches high by I think 12 wide. So it's a nice size. It would look nice framed and up on your wall, depending on what's in it. But the video was basically saying, hey, did you know if you look in a Life magazine, you're going to have 20 like Coca-Cola ad or old car ads, like that initial batch of 10, I don't remember the exact numbers, but let's say we easily 10 times our money easily on individual ads. So whereas the whole magazine would only sell for $6 or $7, we were selling one sheet for $10 or $12 a pop, and in there was like 10 to 15 of these. So you did like a couple of $100, like literally in one magazine. So to your question,
now, do they need to be color?
No, absolutely not. No,
not just the front and the back,
and not just and
as well.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. I mean, color might sell. It might be just visually more appealing to people, but based on the time, if Life started in I learned a lot about Life, 1936. So the majority of the ads in the 1930s ones are black and white, and it gets back to this great like historical lesson. Mid 30s, first you got the Depression going on, right? A Life magazine was like a nickel or something like that, but there was only radio. There wasn't TV yet. So advertisers really put a lot of effort into these.
I think TikTok was still around now.
Well, that's always been around. But these ads they were beautifully done. They really were. They were very artistic, and because that was like your main newspapers and magazines were your main form of advertising. So like Ford would take out these beautiful like 2-page ads with color graphics, incredible. And the color ones in the 30s were, again, a lot more expensive. The majority of them were black and whites. So when you find a 1936 Coca-Cola, whatever, 1936 Studebaker car, there's car nuts, there's Coca-Cola nuts. I mean, that's just a couple. There's 100 different categories you can get into. But anyway, these print ads, we were so inspired by those 10. And then when we went to estate sales, we try to find old. It didn't have to be Life. It could be any magazine. My wife's on Marketplace on Facebook, and she found, we live in Southeast Pennsylvania. A guy was selling, again, it was a younger couple. We ultimately went out in Pittsburgh. It's like a 4-hour drive, 4.5, 5-hour drive. We got in the van on our Jeep, we drove 5 hours. We got 650 magazines for $300.
Holy
so it was like a little less than 50. Now it's just sight unseen. He's like, yeah, I don't know what's here. They all look to be okay, blah, blah. I'm like, what do we do? She's like, honey, think about the math. Even if we, we always start with something like that. If we just
even if they suck and you pull the ads out of them.
We pulled the ads out of, so we went out with at a round trip, about an 8-hour day, 9-hour day, drove all the way out there.
That's not a quick thing.
It was not a quick thing, but I still have some magazines left. It's just such, and now that I've been doing this this is about a year and a half ago, I'd say. The money we've made on these magazines, like for that $300, it's unbelievable. Now I'm at the point where like I can fish through, not only do you have the big full page ads, but sometimes if you go to the back of the magazines, there's these little 3-5-inch, auction professor calls them, what is it called? Quack medicine. Like
oh yeah.
All those kind of silly little ads and tonic and
stretching machine or snake oil or whatever.
Exactly. Cut them out now. So not only am I going for those big old beautiful frameable shots, now I'm cutting out these little ones and selling them for $10-15. Like one magazine, we're raking through and making hundreds and hundreds of dollars off of these magazines. It's labor intense because you have to physically, and again, I have a video coming out of this, but these are big magazines. They always have.
You and Tracy got all these videos coming out. We need.
What are you doing, Travis? What are you doing? Yeah, we need this out. There's only so much time. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me go back to a bookstore collection. Interesting.
Oh yeah.
You haven't sold any, Tracy. Well, watch my video when it comes out. It's halfway done. I kind of give you some tips about like categories to list them in, but really it's product driven. Like obviously Coke. There's going to be a section that literally says
here's
ads.
The question I have for you.
Yeah.
Because now Coke seems pretty timeless, so it may not quite be Coke. But some of those other things, who do you think's buying those 1930s? That would have been someone that's either the child of a parent who, bought that stuff.
Sure.
But at what generation does someone stop caring about, we'll use Coke or whatever? Maybe not Coke, but
because it continues today.
Yeah, does that like, all right, when that generation keels off,
right, there goes the product.
They're done. So
I haven't come across anything like that. I don't know. I know that, again, to go to Popeye for a second, he has a whole video about that with postcards. Like, who really cares about postcards? It's 99.9% of the people that buy postcards are older people, like much older people. And
that's
you're right.
A perfect demographic then, because
yep.
When was the last time you bought a postcard and used it?
Right. Exactly. No, it doesn't happen. I mean, I have a handful that we try to resell with limited success because I don't know enough about it yet, but I am watching these videos.
15 parts
going to watch all 15 parts. I mean, there's just like anything else. There's time periods you want to focus on. There's a type of, there's like, who knew? Again, there's like 10 different categories of photo, like types. Like there's actual real photo postcards, they're called RPPC. Yeah. Those are the most valuable versus like a linen. I mean, there's just lots.
There are some really cool. I love the old. I've seen them on Auction Professor, and I think I've picked up one or two here or there. But those old turn of the century 1900s, Valentines and stuff. Awesome. I love that stuff.
I love
that.
So
amazing to look at. Yeah.
I think it's incredible. You realize what year it is. And like you said, we go to estate sales and is it the parents or grandparents of people? But you find stuff like that still in houses from people that just recently passed away. So probably hand-me-downs or whatever from that they kept. And thank God they did. But I'm always amazed at the stuff you could find in these houses and the stuff that people have. But
my wife and I, we've had this discussion a couple times. I'm sure you have as well. Is like, dang, when we're on death's bed or we're getting ready to move out and they come look at our house. Hopefully we got all our death pile done by then, by the way. I don't want to be all, I don't want to be embarrassed. Like, what's this pile? No one wants, that's a death pile.
Nobody
Already got
wants
one of
to see.
those. But
We
I'm
talk
just
about
like,
that
what are
all
they
the
going to
time.
think when they're walking through our house, picking
Oh,
all this stuff?
I know. It really is really disturbing to think about.
We're gonna have 10 gallons of heartburn meds, somewhere. Someone's gonna be excited. Someone's gonna be, yeah,
Somebody's
they
gonna.
expired 50 years ago, but yes.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Still get heartburn.
People still get heartburn. See, that's a timeless product.
Yeah, that's like
that's a timeless product.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. You see, it's sometimes with the print ad thing, just to go back for a second, because it was a great question about like, do you think there's going to be a demographic that just fades away or whatever? But they're all like, people love cars. There's people that love cars, period. They're just car buffs that own shops or do whatever, or collect Chevrolet. I don't care if it's from 1905 or this year, right? So like, you're always going to have people that are nuts that are looking for a 57 T-Bird. You know what I mean? So like, I don't think that's going to really go away necessarily unless vehicles themselves change radically and it becomes passe. Like if we get to the Jetson stage and we're flying around.
Yeah.
But then you know what? Then it becomes like a novelty. Oh, remember when we had cars? Oh, remember tires? How great they were.
So much easier to drive around.
So much
tires.
Simple days when you're on the ground.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of this stuff.
We weren't crashing from the sky. We were only crashing at high speeds.
Simple times, man.
On the road.
Times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when you could actually walk away from a car crash? Oh God. not plummet to your death.
Yep.
So yeah, it's like every time you think something might end, or it becomes then nostalgic, and then there's going to be a whole new generation that finds this stuff. Really, really recent thing for that is CDs. Like, to me, it seems like they just came out and now they're already like a nostalgia piece. Like records have been around for 120 years, right? CDs come out for like this little window, all the rage, and now they just vanished from the earth. Like and now all of a sudden you could sell. We have hundreds and hundreds of CDs.
Well, and now they're new records come out. They press new records.
Oh, absolutely. Vinyl is back.
So, and now, CDs. I think it has a lot to do with who has disposable income, who's coming out of college with disposable income.
Yeah.
What age did they grow up? They grew up in the 90s. So things in the 90s right now have newfound nostalgia, and somebody's got stupid money to buy them.
It's so true. Everything old is new again. That's what they say.
My problem is my kids, and certainly their kids, they don't buy material items anymore. It's all digital. You can't resell downloadable content. And I guess you can get into these NFTs craps, which
I know nothing about.
We don't want to lose all your viewers right
now.
Right?
Automatic click.
That's all they got. What else is there that these guys even collect? We're going through our children's toys. And they did have some toys, but there was a significant point where they stopped having toys and it all became digital. And there is nothing. There is no material items except broken headphones past that certain state.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to pick. At some point, some kids, future generations, going to be trying to do what we're doing, and they're walking around and the walls are just like sterile. I don't know. Maybe a Coke ad still somewhere.
Coke ad, little antacid, because there's always going to be heartburn medicine. But other than that,
8 tracks. Yeah, 8 tracks. Yeah, I think they skipped that one. They're like, that didn't work the first time. And
that's another one that just, it had very short shelf life with the 8 tracks. We used to have an 8-track player in the car all the time, I remember.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the most lousy product, because like you could be I don't know if you ever heard an 8-track, Travis, but let's say like you're listening to a song, something to do with the way that they program the music on the tape. You could be in the middle of a song, da-da-da-da, and it just flips like in the middle, like it didn't even like bother to wait till a song was over and then flip the set. Mid-track cuts off, switch, very loud, obnoxious, and then you'd hear the rest of the song.
It's amazing that they weren't more popular then.
Oh my!
Nowadays, that'd be a feature that kids are smoking up. Oh yeah, mine flips. Watch it. That'd be a TikTok.
Yeah, Tracy, you remember 8 tracks, right? Tell me you remember 8 tracks. I know Tracy's. She's always everything. Like every show we've been on together that we've watched other people's shows, she always seems to have a very similar approach to things as I do, as far as stuff like that. She's like, oh, I remember that, and I do. So I'm hoping she knows 8 tracks.
My grandfather had an 8-track player in his motorhome. and his El Camino.
El
So
Camino,
we would
sure.
listen to Johnny Cash and Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. Those are the ones I kind of remember.
Cool.
Um,
Dolly Parton records sell very well, believe it or not, still. To the record thing, yeah, Dolly Parton is a popular artist.
Interesting. Yeah. What other country music records sell?
Johnny Cash, you already mentioned. Absolutely, Johnny Cash. We sold him. Charlie Pride just died a couple of years ago. Charlie Pride, believe it or not, was really hot for a bit, and I had as luck would have it, we just picked up a bunch of his albums before he passed away. An estate sale, I just grabbed them. You know, as long as they're like $1 or less, I'll grab them and take a. I'm not saying every one is gold, but like it becomes a numbers game. And if you find a few that aren't that valuable,
to see if they're scratched.
Not only do I look at them, I mean, not in the house. No, I'll usually
just buy them.
I'll buy them, and like if there's a handful of the garbage, I don't care. I'll take my chances on. The vast majority should be acceptable, but we have a really nice professional record cleaning machine. So like I'll go if it warrants it, I clean them up. I try to stage them as best I can with photos. The covers, obviously, if it's got scratches and marks, there's nothing you can do about that. But the media itself, the record, wow. I always clean them, and that's a selling point that on all my listings for records. At the end of it, I'll say professionally, prior to shipment, professionally cleaned. And cleaning doesn't remove scratches and stuff, but it removes fingerprints and dust. And it makes for a better
seller refurbished at that point.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I'll just make a point of saying that we go ahead and we clean these records prior. And I only do that if it sells. Like I'm not going to spend hours and hours cleaning records that might sit on my shelf for 6 months. But yeah, if they sell, how many days do you have for your handling and stuff? Do you do a 1 day?
1 day.
Yeah, me too. So like, 99% of the time I have plenty of time. I'll just give it a quick clean. It takes, 2 minutes on the machine, and we'll ship it out.
Itself, or do you gotta use like manual intervention or anything?
There's manual intervention involved in my product. There's some that are, they're literally like $1,000. Some of these things, that's ridiculous because and those are like electronic. They have ones. Is it like Sonic or something like that? You put the record in this like bath water basically. And I think it's like an ionizer or something. It's like a digital. It looks very fancy. You hit a button and it spins around in ionized water. And I have a machine, and it's good because it's a vacuum, which is really a key element for if you ever get into records and record selling. A vacuum cleaner, literally, like you put this solution on top and you kind of rub it in with a brush, and then you flip it over, and the only manual process is you spin the record with like a little handle at the top. And it's very loud, but it does.
Hey man, I want to see the 15-part video series.
I'm going to do a record cleaning video.
Oh man,
I really am. Yes, Rachel, Dolly Parton is super popular, and her older records, like, Jolene is the big song that she had, and she did. She wrote what's the Whitney Houston song that she wrote?
Bodyguard.
No, I want to dance with somebody. No, I'll Always Love You. Her version of I'll Always Love, which she wrote the song, is beautiful. Dolly Parton's version is really pretty. And Tracy, of course, has boxes of 8 tracks. God bless you, Tracy. I knew you'd come through for me. Do you sell them or listen to them? I'm just curious. I don't know if there's a hot 8-track market.
There must have been one tiny slice of demographic that the 8-track was the thing. A couple weeks worth of births that just happened to fall in that slot, and they love it. They can't get enough of it.
And then, we talked about everything old is new again. Rachel Strickland is another YouTuber, eBay YouTuber I watch once in a while. She just did a couple of videos about cassette tapes, something as basic as a cassette tape. They're selling like hotcakes now, like sealed cassettes. I think she said in her video she picked them up for a quarter.
People are getting those graded if they're sealed.
Oh my goodness. Just a regular cassette tape. Unbelievable.
VHS.
VHS.
VHS sealed because they're going to go get them graded.
Oh my goodness.
Because it has more value if it's like in a slab on the wall. I don't know. That's what Jabba thought of Han Solo, by the way.
That's my wife in a previous incarnation was a manager at a Blockbuster when she was in college or something. I think she said. And so she's like, we actually have still a few. She managed to acquire, not steal, acquire several videotapes.
Not around anymore. Yeah. No. Statute of limitations.
She acquired quite a stash of VHS tapes, which we still have in the basement. And honestly, I haven't even opened them yet.
Dude, I bet. Are you talking about like the Blockbuster rental cases?
Yeah.
I bet that has some value.
It probably does. Everybody buys
I'll look it
something,
up.
right?
I want to know. I want to know right now. I'm gonna look it up on Terapeak.
Hey Annie, how you doing? 8-track, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. There's the sound of the 8-track. I was trying to look for the word. That's it. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Middle of a song. You're rocking and rolling to a song. All of a sudden, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Good to see you, Annie.
Is that Annie? Now, speaking of,
that is Annie, another great channel.
Teaching how to do something. I watched her her spreadsheet or her CSV upload series. Really great.
It's fantastic. Really, and when we were on, Annie was a guest along with Travis and I on the Auction Professor a couple weeks ago. And I actually mentioned to her, I'm like, you should really do a CSV video. And I'm glad she did it because it's incredibly complex though, like far more complex than I thought.
She did such a great job though.
You did a great job.
I will sit in a lot of online training for crap. And I just like start doing something else because it's just boring me out of my mind. But her stuff was legit and succinct.
Absolutely.
Very, very nice.
I agree 100%. It's fantastic. I'm actually like another one I'm saving the series of along with Popeyes because it's really valuable. You're right. It's like I would pay for that, Annie, but I really would. We live to tell the tale. Yeah.
But you've already done it, so we're not going to send you money.
But Travis and I are both statistical people. So like we love stuff like that, numbers and stats and formulas. I do anyway. I'm sure Travis does. And I'll tell you, I joked, and I think in one of the comments I said, and this is the short way to list a bunch of like in the time that it takes to set all this up, I could probably list 100 things, but I guess it's effective. I even opened up the what was the thing on Amazon called to store your photos? Did you see that, Travis, on our video? I forgot what it's called. Whatever that is, I signed up for it.
I didn't do because I'm like, all right, that and I can do. But boy, I'm gonna have to sit down with that.
AWS, is it AWS?
Yeah,
Annie? I think that was it.
Web
I signed up for that and I put some photos
in.
I did. I mean, it's pennies. It's not expensive, but I did. Yeah, and I put like 50 photos in when I was trying to follow her guide, and it's not a joke. That's for sure. I mean, I could see the value. I guess there's almost no limit to the amount you could add.
If you're listing everything in the same category,
right? Just plow through.
There's not a lot of specific item specifics about a particular thing.
Yeah,
I definitely see the value there.
No, absolutely. See it. And like she just said, once you get the hang of it, it saves time. I'm sure it does. There's a huge learning curve with that, though. You have to, but time well spent. I mean,
you got to be smart for one.
Well,
which Annie is, and that's where I had the conflict because that was a problem.
A couple of 100 postcards. That's awesome. Yeah, lightning fast once you get it up and running. Yeah, remember, we all talked about efficiency on that show.
Check out these Blockbuster cases. This is the case only. It makes a difference what name of tape was in there, but you don't need the tape. So, like a Batman Blockbuster clamshell, sleeve and case only, $105 on auction.
Wow.
Here's let's see, Little Mermaid went for like 56. Let's see. I don't know. There's several that are just with no thing, and sometimes it doesn't matter. But I would take a look, see what you got. You don't have to test anything.
No, that's so true. We have. I mean, I don't want to exaggerate, but we probably have at least 100, like easily, that she just took, like from.
What room is it? And is there a window there?
It's probably 20 feet in back of me. Actually, it's not too far away. And there is we're in a basement. In a basement.
Dude, there you go. New segment. You uncover. Somebody's going to watch. And they're going to be like, oh, my God.
You know what? Put a little special effects in there. Like we open the thing and like fog comes out and light beams.
Wasn't there a Blockbuster glow?
Yeah, like there you go.
It lit up where you could find it at night.
And I guess there's no copyright anymore, right? If they're defunct, I guess we could do that. We'll have to look that up.
I'd ask Annie first.
Annie,
doesn't have the idea.
That's so true. Annie, what? Yeah, I'm sure she's well versed in legal issues as well. But no, there's probably What is the when something becomes public domain, right? After a certain period, but Blockbuster is it's only been a few years. I mean, I think it's got to be like 50 or 100 years or something ridiculous.
I think it's like 100 or something. Yeah. I know Winnie the Pooh just became public domain.
Yes, my wife told me about that, but not Disney's version.
No,
you know, the original. So I guess in theory, you could take pieces of the book and reproduce them.
You could make like a really dark, gritty Christopher Nolan Winnie the Pooh story, maybe, and make a lot of money. I don't know.
The ideas that are coming out of this show, folks, and all for free. Oof.
God.
And
I thought everybody was paying to get into this.
You know, well, you don't want to give, we're just dangling the carrot for the first live show.
Yeah.
78 years. All right.
Okay.
So we probably have about 60 more years to go with Blockbuster. More than that, 65 years for Blockbuster, something like that.
It's going to be a younger man's game.
Yes. But for you kids watching, you punks.
Oh,
well,
no.
That's Alaska. What do you expect?
Yeah, I think it's continental. I think anything outside of the continental U.S. is fair game. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, but I highly recommend to anybody watching, check out Annie's channel and that specifically that video series about the. She has lots of videos too. She has a lot of and another one that's very, very kind of her to share that knowledge, because it's not something to be taken for granted. When somebody knows something and they're willing to share it, that's the best. As soon as I learn something, I promise I'll share.
Yeah. See if you learn it. See if you can learn something for next show, so people can learn something from this show.
I have definitely learned about rating the bathroom for antacids and powder bottles.
Yeah.
That's a given. That's already on the list. That one's free, but that's already on my list.
But now you brought up Mylanta, though. That's a whole different story.
Well,
yeah.
It really is true, though. Seriously, I could see that, like the marketing involved in the labels and stuff. I'm sure they change over time, and people might be into, for whatever reason. Oh my God, you have a 1947 Mylanta.
I don't have a lot of feelings associated with Pepto-Bismol, only the negative feelings. So it's like when I drink a Coke or 7-Up or something. Yeah,
happiness.
I remember that was great. I was never really happy when I was drinking Pepto-Bismol.
No. It's usually a bad reason.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you're breaking out that bottle. There's a problem. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10.
Or you've got a problem if you're breaking out.
You got a problem. You're not pouring that over ice and a little whipped cream. Back to the ad. You just mentioned about Coke. Not only here's a little tidbits. RC Cola, Royal Crown.
Yeah.
Really good seller for the ad. The vintage print ads again. RC Cola, 7-Up, Knee High. If you could find some Knee High, which used to be very popular. Knee High grape soda. Knee High. Sells great. Coca-Cola is like, the Yankees of cola, like the name. Yeah. But yeah, those lesser ones, RC Cola.
Knee High has fans. They have a fan base.
Knee High has food. Hires root beer. A&W root beer. Hires. Yep.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
Heck, even at this point, I grew up in California, and we had something called Shasta, which was
sure, absolutely.
I don't know if it was generic, but it was just like an off-brand.
Shasta. Cheap. No, we had Shasta. Absolutely.
I bet even that's got a following.
It does.
Got that nostalgia for it.
Absolutely. Yep. Tab. Do you remember Tab? It was like the first diet cola. Tab was again. There's a cross section of people.
Want a Tab, buddy? You better buy something. Yeah. That was my big shot of Hollywood just right there.
That was good. That was well done, and it's recorded for posterity too. So you agents out there.
Did your viewership just go up?
Oh my God, tripled! I think in the last 5 minutes or so.
Cool.
It's good stuff, man.
Just put my name in there. Then get a hold of me.
Beer is another. Being a Colorado boy, at least right now, of course you got your Coors and stuff, but beer ads, Budweiser ads. My goodness, there's so many of them. Heineken is really popular for some reason. Yeah, Andy, you had Shasta. I'm from New York, and we had Shasta. Absolutely.
Really?
Tab.
I thought that was a California thing.
No, absolutely not. We had Shasta.
I didn't get out.
There was another scrappy brand like that. Annie will think of it.
How about Moxie? If you're from New England,
I'm not familiar with Moxie.
It was a Maine thing.
Okay.
I learned that because we just went to Maine this summer. So
beautiful place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful country.
Yeah.
Tracy, you dug up some knee-high bottles. There you go. Did you find them in a estate sale? I wonder where you found them. Oh, they came with the barn. Maybe.
Ground. They were just in the ground.
Pepsi free. Yeah. New Coke. If you find some new
free. Crystal Pepsi.
Remember the new Coke fiasco when they changed the formula?
Vaguely.
Well, that was a big. That was Fanta. Yes, Annie, Fanta.
Orange,
Fanta.
yeah.
Fanta had like funky, like strange flavors too. And he has what is Moxie? What is it? It's a cola? Like, is it a drink?
It's yeah.
Never heard of it. I've never
It's
heard of it.
It was a Maine soda. I don't know how else to describe it. It's a little peppery.
Okay. That's strange.
I don't know. It's like maybe you took a Coke and you mixed it with Dr. Pepper.
Really?
And maybe that would be a Moxie.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Interesting. Again, lessons, learning everything. But yeah, my God, the products, the beers, the sodas. In the ground, she does metal detecting and bottle digging.
What? Tracy, are you pulling our legs?
How does one go bottle digging? Like, you know what I mean? How do you're out there doing your metal detecting for coins and you just come across a piece of glass? Is that how it?
Maybe there was lead in the glass. Is that metal? I don't know. I'm not smart.
Is it detected as metal? That's a good question. Moxie is a cola. Okay. Annie, you're in Massachusetts, right? I think she's in Salem. Strawberry Crush. Yes, I remember that too.
Anytime my wife sees Strawberry Crush, it's pretty rare, but she just buys it up. She buys it up.
You stop what you're doing and
I think she could flip it. It's better than heartburn medicine.
Well, that's debatable, but
yeah.
Tracy, you're serious? What, that you find these bottles? Like, how do you find the bottles though? Is it just you just come across them as you're looking for other stuff? You just stumble a wannabe metal detector. Yeah, I've never tried metal detecting. I'm sure it's a lot of fun. Yeah, Salem. Very cool.
Old foundations.
Middle of the woods.
Have you ever found any bodies or anything, Tracy?
She can't say. It's confidential.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Confidential.
Offline. Do a podcast, crime podcast or something.
There's another YouTube. There you go. That'll be another segment. You figure right after the shoe segment, we'll go right into
so cobbling. Bottle digging
and then body part, how to best package.
You've got it all in this show.
You never want to be like limited. You never want to limit yourself to one category. There's a whole big, beautiful world out there.
Exactly.
Radio Shack. Even Radio Shack is now like a nostalgic thing.
I sell a lot of Radio Shack gear.
Yep. Yeah. We sold
the big stuff, small, crappy crap that you wouldn't even buy.
Tandy was their cheap brand of computer, if you remember. Tandy. So
okay, so here's a little tip for your audience.
Yes.
Pick up anything that says the word Tandy on it. And I'm not just talking keyboards, but do pick up Tandy keyboards, by the way. You'll be surprised. Tandy manuals, Tandy books, anything that says the word Tandy on them, it'll sell. I promise you. It'll sell.
I guarantee you're right. We have another video, shameless plug, from last year from a different estate sale where we found it was on the floor. Again, my wife, God bless her. It was, now here's another thing we have.
Now, was she already on the floor?
She was already on the floor. She had just closed the secret door. You know what I mean? She was mopping up her footsteps. She didn't want anybody following. And no
more footprints. Those have been
no more footprints,
away,
no evidence
away with your little vacuum cleaner.
Exactly. But she was there was a box, a big old box about this high, about yay big, cardboard box, and it was the name escapes me suddenly. I can't believe this. We sold so much. It was a computer system that Coleco made, the Atom computer system from '84. It was the entire system. What you just said about manuals and stuff, it was like a programming basic booklet. You talk about cassettes. Actually, this is a piece. This is one of the few pieces I have left, but long before floppies even, you used to put your input was in a cassette. Whoa. So your computer programs were on a regular cassette, like an audio cassette, except it had information for computer. So this is just the door remaining from one of this. But
someone's probably restoring that somewhere and they need that.
We talked about parting stuff out. Here's a keyboard from that unit too. I'm sorry about the green screen, but it's is
that a black keyboard or did you take the cover off?
No, I didn't take. This is how it came. We already sold one full keyboard, but this was just a piece. You see how it has the attachment up here?
That is one of the coolest keyboards I've ever seen.
It's yours for $50, man. In fact, I'll give it to you for 40. I'll give it to you for 45. No, but this stuff, my goodness,
that is neat.
She found about, that's the 2 pieces that remain from this thing, but we made, it was $200. They had it listed for $200. So just because of that, people shied away from it for whatever stupid reason. And I'm like, no, I don't, profess to be some amazing expert on, I know computers pretty well, and I had heard of the Atom, but I'm like, $200. I mean, who knows? It's now considered vintage, for kids, like you said, younger kids or whatever that are into this stuff. Yeah, any Commodore stuff. It's kind of like, yes, you saw the video. Yeah, we found some Commodore 64. Same thing, like programs or like books, accounting programs and stuff like that. But just back to this Atom for a second. This box was huge. I think we wound up getting it for like $150. We didn't pay the full price, but they were glad because they got rid of this giant box of stuff. But we didn't sell the whole thing. Of course, we sold the keyboard by itself. We sold the actual hard drive by itself. We sold, for hundreds and hundreds, we made like $2,000 off of that box. No exaggeration. And these are the 2 pieces left. The stupid door. But you're right. If somebody's looking to, where are you going to find this now?
So I have
to. This was going to be one of my listing items tonight, but to try to find
immediately.
I bet you it would sell. I'm not saying it's going to sell for a fortune. It's a piece of plastic. But if you're looking for this, if anybody's looking for it,
find it anywhere. No one's got that.
Nobody's got, but I got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the keyboard is really cool. It's like the innards of the keyboard. So if somebody is technically inclined and can, put the piece of plastic. We sold the actual key. There was like $100 we sold the keyboard for just by itself. Oh, there was I'm remembering it because it's been about a year. There was a printer also, like a dot matrix printer.
Dot matrix, yeah.
Yeah, with paper in it. And you said before, did you test stuff? I did test that. Like I literally just plugged it in. It worked perfectly. This guy had everything. Like, it's 30-something years old, which is hard to believe, but it was like 30 years old.
Did it boot up?
It looked like it was like beautiful. It was kept. It was immaculate. The guy that had this, obviously took very good care of it. And like he labeled all his cassettes, very meticulous, beautiful handwriting and pencil, accounting program. Yeah. He had all the booklets that accompanied the programs, which we sold individually for like $20 a piece, $15 a piece.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah, the 5 1/4. I've sold a ton of vintage software.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
OS2, all this old 80s software, sometimes sealed, sometimes just the floppies.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to say it's stupid because somebody's nostalgic itch is getting tickled right there.
Big time.
Whatever.
No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. And again, there's a market for everything, man. There is a market for everything.
Who's thieving? Somebody's stealing.
I don't know. These girls are having their own conversation. Let's see. Hold on. What are they doing? Commodore. Yes, I got the Commodore. Oh, they're talking about Salem. See, whenever Annie gets involved, we're going to be talking about Salem.
Yeah.
Annie, we got to get up there in October. My wife and I, that's on our to-do list to get up there for, like everybody else does in October, but we would love to go up there. I'm in Massachusetts a lot, but I haven't been to Salem.
I've got a vintage 11 by 17. This would have been probably early 80s or late 70s poster of the witchcraft, not the Witch Museum.
Okay.
In Salem. I think it's in Salem.
Just advertising the museum? Like, was it, do you know? Was it like
the picture of it?
It's a picture of it. Okay.
One of those educational type posters. You would see it up in a classroom, although I'm not sure they put that up in a classroom, but it was cool. I kept it. I actually didn't sell it because I thought it was cool.
Frame it. I see you got a cool poster back there. It looks like something's framed to you over your right shoulder.
Yeah, that's Big Trouble in Little China.
Okay.
My buddy got that for me. It's my favorite movie.
Cool.
Next to Jaws. Yeah.
Why don't you give us a tour? You got the record player right there. I see over to your left side, right?
Yeah, wife got that for me.
Sure.
Yeah. Got some Star Wars. Got some Funko Pops.
Cool.
Over there is my Tron and Black Hole collection and psychology bookshelf. And
very cool.
I don't want to show anything else because the rest of it's really messy. I don't have a cool green screen.
It looks like you're so organized by the vantage point that we're looking at. It looks like you're
if I tip that down, people be abandoning ship, and I don't want to ruin your show.
No, that's the Funko thing. Isn't that another one of those things that had like a really short window of incredibly high prices? And
yeah, it's still out. It's still going like gangbusters. I haven't bought one in a long time, and I'm definitely going to be getting rid of most of them. They're neat. They've capitalized on the nostalgia for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can get Ozzy Osbourne, and you can get Conan the Barbarian, and you can get Ghostbusters and Star Wars and everything there ever was, which is cool. But I just don't see how that sustains. I really don't. But
yeah,
selling like hotcakes right now.
Okay. I thought that the flame burned out on those things.
Oh, for resale market, probably not. Yeah. Secondary market, probably not nearly as good as the primary market.
Right.
So
gotcha.
That's never a good sign.
No, that's exactly another lesson right there. Yeah, that's very true. Anyway. I didn't know much about those either. And my wife and I used to go, again, a place to close suddenly, but what's the bookstore we used to go all the time? Barnes and Noble. We used to go like just on a weekend sometimes to Barnes and Noble. Do you guys have that in Colorado? Yeah, I think it's
one of Rachel's favorite things. Yeah, that's
just hang out.
We'll
they
go
put
there on
a coffee shop. Yeah, exactly. Literally like a date. Exactly.
Walk around with coffee,
donut, books, endless.
Kids these days, they don't know.
They don't know. Remember what a book was, and but that's where I first saw these Funko things. They had like a pyramid of them built up with like the Harry Potter stuff, and I'm like, what the heck are these stupid little dolls? Like, what are they? My wife said she's the one that clued me. She's like, no, these things are popular. We bought a few, hoping a little RA action, arbitrage, and I still have them sitting there on the shelf, like they didn't sell.
Yeah.
Because we had hoped. I forgot what they were, but they were like, I think we bought Harry Potter, and they were like $15 a piece. Is that like a reasonable price? I don't even remember.
I think $10 to $15.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they were. So like we didn't make a penny on them, and I was like, oh well. We tried to capitalize.
Selling a bunch for a loss is what I've got, but I don't care. I mean, they're just taking up space, and they just don't have any. Some of them are cool. I mean, I was
just going to say, are there some that you actually like? Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yeah, I've got all the Big Trouble Little China ones.
Cool.
And I've got the Tron and the Black Hole ones, and I got ones from the show called Lost.
Oh yeah, sure.
Other than that, almost everything is just not that interesting to me anymore.
You lot them up. You know what I mean? Whole box, 100 of them.
Yeah.
Make some money back.
Just throw them in the road while we're driving.
That's
whatever.
All right. What time are we looking at? It is 8:30 Eastern, just about 8:30. How much time you have left, Travis? You good for a little bit, or you want to?
Yeah, I get another good half hour.
Cool. If anyone has anything they want to bring up or talk about, let us know. Questions and comments are welcome.
Well, see, no one knew.
That's some high tech stuff right there. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
No, that's good stuff. I titled this a live listing show. We haven't done a listing yet, but I thought maybe we could at least discuss some. We kind of did. We touched on a lot of different categories without even realizing or planning for it. But is there anything you wanted to bring to the table as far as something kind of cool that we could take a look at collectively? Like, is there anything you want to research together, or?
Yeah, let me show this. This is kind of cool.
Very cool.
So you probably like these kind of things. This was an online auction that I bought, and I paid up for this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the first thing about them, but whoever kept this book, these are patches.
Oh, I thought they were stickers. They're patches. Okay.
Yeah, these are patches, unpatched or whatever.
Right.
For the last 40, 50 years, and I guess there's also some bar doilies or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
But there's a ton of these in here. I don't know what any of them are worth. Do you have any experience with patches?
I do not, but I would be happy to go in and give a gander with you if you want to look up some stuff.
All right, so let me just find something that seems really cool. And these are vintage. Now I know they do reproductions of these days, again, to capitalize on the secondary market. So
yep.
Dr. Pepper will print "I'm a Pepper" patch.
Yep.
But let's check out. Let's do that.
I'm on it. Let's go. I'll get this.
I'm a Pepper, Dr. Pepper patch.
Wouldn't you like to be a Pepper too?
I would like to be a Pepper.
Be a Pepper. Drink. How do we want to sort this? By highest price, or you want to see like?
I always like to do highest price.
You go right to the top.
I go right to the top and think, have all these grand illusions.
Let's see if I could share this screen with everybody. We'll Take a look together. Annie already sees some that Annie already sees some that'll sell.
Good.
Based on what? Based on the brand, I guess, right? Like obviously, like what it's advertising or something. I guess would be. All right, let's see if we can get my screen up. Okay, everybody see it?
Yep.
I just put, taking a step, vintage patches, and I sorted it by highest first.
Now, are these listings or solds?
This is just listings. Yeah, we could look for souls too, but I just want to. This is brand new for me. Like I have never even looked at this before. So you see all the different types they have: iron-ons, sew-on, embroidery.
Yeah, I wonder. These look like iron-ons, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I do
have
a US mail one though.
Yeah. You were saying, I know that out by you, the military stuff is popular, right?
Oh, I've done well. So
look at this guy, $233.
Military patch. I sold a military patch for, I think it was $250.
Wow.
It was it was only 25 made. It was for a rigger, a parachute rigger on, I think probably the Eisenhower aircraft carrier.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, that list, it was only 25 made, and that sold for like $250 or something like that. Those are fun.
That's really cool. This one I'm looking at, I don't know if you see it. I hope you see it. It says U.S. Army Special Forces A5 shoulder something, $233 it's up for.
Yeah, anything that's unique for special forces or for military, some of the tour patches that they get when they go, like the Navy, when they go on their Mediterranean, they call it a cruise, but it's a tour or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll have their own special patch made for that. So there's some of those around, and those always go well because, somebody's like, man, I lost my patch, I guess, from back in the day. And I sure
no, absolutely. I don't know if you're looking at the comments, but Annie, of course, and
Annie coming through.
Tracy, Annie coming through as always. She said she sold one related to skiing, snowmobiles, and car racing.
Ski-Doo. All right, let's check.
The Caterpillar, post office. If they have a coating on the back, that would be the iron-on version. Arctic Tac.
Here, I'm going to hold it up. Annie can help as we look here.
Annie can help. Annie, thank God you're here. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
This is something I've never even come across. That looks like you probably have a lot of money in that binder. How much did you pay for that?
I probably paid about $100 for this binder.
But you have well over 100, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, at some point, this is one of those things where you're like, I can't pass this up, yet I don't know a thing about it type thing and then
you roll the dice a little, but you know what?
Yeah.
Your judgment was sound because you realize, wait a minute, there's got to be something in this. And there's nothing wrong with, I love to learn things. So like, this is fantastic.
Fun. Yeah. Still don't see an what did she say? Arctic Cat and Ski-Doo.
Arctic Cat or Ski-Doo. And then Annie said anything with cat. Yeah, I'll put them on full screen, Annie.
I got a couple Caterpillar ones.
And Annie said, look for the Caterpillar. Let me get rid of the screen sharing for a second.
I got a Where's the Beef one from Wendy's.
That's probably worth something. Just for the commercial. Police. I wonder if police and stuff do well. Yeah, Tracy's saying you'll make your money back and then some. I'm sure. Again, this is what my wife and I do. We look at a volume and we say, if we only make $10 on each one, like look, just do 10. If every one of those is a $10 bill, you're making a lot of money. And I'm sure there's many that are way more than that. But even if you just say low end,
doesn't look like I've got the Magic 2 that Annie mentioned.
You don't have Caterpillar? I thought you had.
Well, I have.
See, like Texaco. There you go. Yeah.
Here's a John Deere on a bobsled.
I bet you John Deere is popular. I know they're popular in general. Yeah, Annie said the same thing. The Where's the Beef will probably sell. I thought that would too.
These are my two favorite, I think, in the whole thing. Fudgesicle and Popsicle.
That's kind of cool. I bet you all those like Exxon and oil companies, that's probably.
Yeah.
I think you gotta.
that's what I get upset about is that, I've got piles and piles of stupid video game consoles and things that take up all this space.
Right.
And this thing's taking up no space. So I never get around to it.
I would get those. You could throw
beer mats. Yeah. I think, is that what they call them? The
like coasters, kind of?
Coasters?
Yeah. Yeah, she's saying, I'm glad I'm guessing, but I'm guessing right. She said the gas station ones are good. So the gas stuff is probably really good.
Annie, I'll probably have to do a video, and I'll just I'll have you on or something, and we could just go through these, and you can tell me how much money and how rich I'm going to be, because that's my kind of thing to hear.
And I think she only asked 10%, so that's fair. I mean, give her 10%.
That's totally fair. Yeah, that's cool.
I would. No, you could just tell that looks fantastic. That's a great. Yeah,
that's going to be fun someday.
Very cool. Well, if you wanted to look any up, we could, but
let's look up the John Deere. What was that? A snowmobile? I don't know what that was. That might be hard.
Hey, this is eBay. EERE, right?
That's why you do this. If it was easy, anybody would do it.
Exactly.
I'll hold it back up.
Well, I mean, just for reference, right? I mean, this is, you know what? Let's look at Solds. You're right. Let's go to Solds, because anybody could put any price they want. This one that says Trail Boss, do you see that one?
Yeah.
Sold for $35.
And that's in a
20.
Yeah, that's another thing, is I don't know how they sold. I guess that's how they sold these back in the day.
Here you go, man. John Deere snowmobile, $20.
Oh. Okay.
But it's all right.
$20.
You paid $100 for all of them, right? So I mean,
yeah.
$20. There's 20% of your money back on one patch.
Yeah. Well, 10% is going to Annie, so I still got a little bit more to go there.
All right, cool. But see, that literally came up, and that's all I did. Vintage John Deere snowmobile patches. So
okay, let's find.
What else? Yeah, let's look.
How about Dolphin? Campfire marshmallows. Look at this one. Can you see that campfire marshmallows?
Let me go back. Hold on. I'm sorry. Campfire marshmallows. Yeah. What does it say?
Something that would bring about the end of the world. Oh, Annie, it looks like this guy, like maybe, I don't know. Do you think, do people, so as I'm peeling it, the black paper, the construction paper of the binder, it's kind of like on the back. I'm sure it can be cleaned off, but that's unfortunate.
Annie, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, you don't have to really know about the patches per se, but the products or the brands that sell, right? The popularity of it. That's what I was thinking too, like the gas station stuff. And John Deere is a pop. And Tracy just found the same listing, I guess, right? That they sold $20 for the, yeah. I'll take, if you spend $100, would you take $20 for every one of those? You're going to make some money, right?
Heck yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
All day long. A lot of them are uniforms. Is there anything else you want to look up? Any other brand or anything that looks really cool? Oh, the marshmallow. What was it called? I'm sorry, marshmallow.
Campfire marshmallows.
Oh, yeah.
That seems like a pretty rare thing. I've never even. Well, until you find it for $7.
That's a kind of lousy. No offense. That looks like it's a kind of lousy condition. Yours look really primo. Like,
yeah, these look like brand new, all of them.
All right, give me one more. We got to find something cool. What did you have? Like, what were some of the oil companies? Like, was it Chevron or something?
Let's do that.
Just because of the popularity of, like we talked about earlier, with the car buffs and stuff. It's not just cars. They buy Firestone tire ads, and they buy.
Here's one. How about Penton?
Let's see.
Penton. I think it's like a racing or something like that.
Penton.
Yeah.
One of these guys? Is that this one down here?
No, it's got a couple flags, but I mean, that's the cool thing. There's no other ones, so you throw this up and you list it for $35 like that guy.
That's exactly right. Yeah, you set the market, right? based on scarcity.
That's
Another thing I learned from Auction Professor is right. Like a lot of these guys that are into this stuff, they're not necessarily shopping around. Like if you're a Penton guy for whatever reason, and I collect pen, you can kind of just buy the one that comes up. If you don't have it, you want it. You know what I mean? So I really think you could kind of set your own price within reason for some of this stuff because you don't have a lot of competition.
Smart, wise words, sir. Wise words.
Run here for me. What give me one of the oil companies. I don't remember what it was. Texaco, was it? Or
Texaco, yeah. Here's a Texaco one. Actually, there's a few different oil ones there.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot, right? But like look in general, here's a lot that somebody put together, $40.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those, yeah.
And again, it's hard to tell from just one little picture like this. And if I blow it up, you won't be able to see it because I can only share one tab at a time. But they're not in great condition. They look kind of dirty. They're wrinkled. Yeah.
There it is, right there.
This one?
Well, that's a lot of them, but there's one in between the black hat and the red hat. Just scroll down just a hair. Right below that. That guy.
This one.
$30.
Yep. All day. And like Annie said, look, uniform patch. So again, you got some
SEO is really important.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Like with everything else, but yeah, you could see it. You could see it live in action right here. But again, somebody that might have worked for them and I used to work there, or my grandfather used to work there, or whatever, and they want to collect this stuff.
Look this one up. This is some kind of motorcycle company I've not heard of, but MONTESA. I think that's an S.
Montesa?
It's this yellow one down here at the bottom.
I'm sorry, hang on. I'm going back. Let me oh, that's pretty big. The one I saw was kind of small.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it's got a big following.
No.
But again, just like you said, you mentioned the Auction Professor, and that's what it's about, is that I love our favorite word at home. We do this over dinner. We just talk about, hey, the perceived value of this HelloFresh meal is fantastic.
Yep.
But a perceived value of these things, you set the market. You don't sell them for the bottom dollar.
Right.
You let the $2.99 one get sold.
Exactly.
And then you sell yours, or you buy it if you think it's got more value.
And again, and another Auction Professor, I'm going to quote this guy a lot because he's fantastic, but you keep your prices high, at least to start. Then you have some wiggle room if you want to do a sale down the road, or you want to accept an offer that's reasonable. You put it up for $35, let's just say, and somebody makes you an offer for $28. Absolutely. You know what I mean? You kind of can't go wrong. You have wiggle room to do a sale or something. Yes, yeah, and he's saying at least 8 to 10 per probably as an average. That's a nice, from your mouth to the buyer's ears.
Annie's just running a clinic over here on patches.
And she knows nothing about
patches. Episode coming out.
But you don't have to know patches. You see, she knows conceptually, she knows the popularity of products. The brand.
It's all the
brand.
brand.
And that can translate into a t-shirt, a patch, a print ad, a poster, right? A book.
I don't know if my wife is claiming the fudgesicle patch here. I'm not sure what's happening.
Oh, hold on. I just see fudgicle. I don't know what. There's not a lot of. I don't know what she's referring to. I had
debating a fudgesicle pass.
Oh, I thought we were debating the spelling of fudgicle. Fudgesicle.
Oh, geez, who knows?
I don't know.
I thought it was sickle. No E.
No E.
What?
Like knowledge, and then she gives. Look at this. Then she gives you another example. Annie, you're a natural teacher.
I think she was like in. I mean, she's right here, but she was like marketing or something. She did some kind of corporate espionage or something. She probably stole brand insider information, and she had to leave and go into WITSEC probably. And now she's doing this.
For an undisclosed location in Salem, Massachusetts.
It's probably like Salem, Ohio or something.
Right. I think Annie has a very significant marketing background or something, I seem to remember.
Yeah, I think so.
That serves her well when it comes to this stuff. Well, that's kind of cool. I would probably spend some time looking at this stuff if I were you. I think you got a nice little stash of goodies there.
Yeah. So we've got piles of things like that. Piles of movie posters, piles of antique sheet music, piles of stuff like that, where it's just
sheet music sells. I sell sheet music. It sells very well.
Again, I got to take time to learn it.
You got to take time. Sheet music, there isn't a huge learning curve. Sheet music is, you could find almost all of it on eBay already. And then, like we just said, if you don't find it, well, then you set the market, kind of, right?
I did just sell one. I just listed 10 because that was one of my goals for January. I said I got to get some listed, so I listed one.
Yeah,
I sold a couple. One of them was $45, called "Where the Columbines Grow," and it was a Colorado thing.
Beautiful.
And it sold, and I don't even know why, but it's just cool. It's just neat to do that.
Everything sells, and somebody wants. I love piles of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, Rachel wants to know the value of the fudge sickle patch.
Oh, okay. We'll do.
Hey, can I share my screen? Let's look it up in Worth Point this time.
There you go. Yeah, go ahead. Feel free. Let me take. Oh, mine is down. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, let me know if you can do it.
Let's see. Oh boy, sharing with 2 monitors. Do you have 2 monitors?
No.
Okay. Can you see my screen or anything?
No. I would be able to kind of behind the scenes.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Almost there. Here we go. How's that?
You ready? I have to put it up. You ready?
Oh, put it up. Put it up.
You logged in on everything? We're not going to see any password? You're ready?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Worth Point.
All right, so let's check it out. Fudge sickle, no E.
No E.
Or which has no E? The first E or the second E?
That's a good question.
I guess I could look at the patch.
No, there's no E for fudge. Like, it just ends in a G. Annie, absolutely. The state names, I have 100 of them like that. Like I was gonna say Montana. Moon over Arkansas or something. Those type of songs always sell well. You're right.
Wow.
Do you see yours?
That one's depressing. Look at that.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
I don't know if that's, I mean, that at first glance, that looks like a lousy patch, but then again, there's such a small section to view that maybe
they didn't kill themselves with photos.
No.
That's for sure. One photo.
But it means it's pretty scarce, right? That's the only 4 that have, and what's the you were saying it goes back like 10 years, Travis, or something? How far does Worth Point go back?
I think it's like a decade. So yeah, oh wow, here's something from 2003. Well, that's cool. I wish I had that.
Oh, those signs, yeah, that's cool.
Oh my gosh. That only went for $2,600 in 2003.
Yeah.
So
just bringing it up again, cigarette stuff is another huge area with the vintage print ads. People love their cigarettes and collecting cigar and cigarette stuff.
Yeah, Tobacciana.
Yeah, exactly. That was a great. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but I'll go with it. Tobacciana. I like it. Yeah,
I've never thought twice about it. I think that's got to be the way.
First time you ever said the word, right? I've seen it typed. I've typed it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I've said it out loud.
Now here's what I want: this nice fudge sickle train boxcar.
That's kind of cool. Train again. There's a lot of train nuts out there.
Is there anybody in the chat who wants something looked up in Worth Point? Something
there you go.
Weird,
another free perk.
Yeah.
I've never purchased I've debated whether or not to do it. And you definitely see a value in it, Travis? You think it pays for itself over time, the membership?
Well, I've only had it a month.
Okay.
So
okay.
I don't want to like be the marketer for Worth Point. If you're into ephemera, and you know what I've used it for so much less than the actual prices is, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So
right.
I find a piece of artwork but somebody has done all the research about the artist and the piece. and they've got all that in their description from 2007. Now, I'm not going to copy and paste because that's kind of wrong, but it certainly helps me out as a researcher or how I want to now do SEO or what I want to put in the thing. So I use it for that. That's pretty super awesome. The pricing is cool too. Annie says no. She's got, it's not for everybody. It's got to be certainly for a certain thing. It's pretty expensive.
Yeah. I guess it's for quote unquote hard to find items or stuff that there's just not a lot of comps out there on eBay because it doesn't go far back. You know,
I have helped it. Like I said, it helps me figure out what something is when a photo on Google doesn't get it done or something like that.
I always heard, I don't know if it's true, and I know you've only had it a month, but Annie's probably had it for a while. I heard for artwork, it's really good for pieces of artwork that you might find on a wall, at estate sale, stuff like that.
I think so. That's where we want to go.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I used it the other night. I don't have it. Okay, well, here's another example of why I've used this, and then I'll answer that art question.
Okay.
I've got some favorites saved of things that I couldn't find really comps for. And these are all things that I now own or something similar, including art.
Okay.
So that when I go to list them, I have a good, someone has already done this work. Like this guy's got just an amazing amount of detail. I have one of these. And so when I get ready to list it, rather than me having to go figure it all out again, this guy's just, he's got the core information there. So that's going to be very handy, make my life easier. So I just saved it as a favorite. But you were mentioning art. Here is, that's not a good one. Yeah. So there was an online auction here locally, and this person was selling a number of these, and I was bidding on it based on this comp and others for this particular person. So I had this saved because I thought I was going to win it, and then it just escalated and went crazy. But that was cool. I knew that this $10 painting that was still $10 with, an hour to go, based on this, I'm like, I know I need to go buy this. So I was prepared to do 100. And so once I got to 100, it surpassed me, and then it blew up and got later. But I felt good with that. I felt good. That would have been a good use of worth point for me. It would have made me money. So I do like it for art. And if you're going to get into art and do fine art, I think that's where a huge value of it is.
Right.
So that's one good thing. But again, I've only been using it a month.
Good points, though. Did you see the message I just put up there for you, Travis? We had a request to look something up. But it looks like Andy already did, unless it was a misspelling.
Who wanted something? I completely.
Tracy. Oh, you don't see the comment? Tracy put a comment. Zora, knows best poster.
Let's do
But it looks like there might be a typo. I guess it's just Zora, no I. Maybe try Zora too. I'm not sure. It looks like Annie tried and she got no results too. You can't see it. You can't find that on eBay, I guess, Tracy, right? You don't see it anywhere.
Z-O. Zoira knows best. Interesting.
No, Father knows best.
Yeah. That was back in the day when he did. Now not so much. Oh gosh, that's too many. Well, sorry, that's even too unique for worth point.
It sounds like you name your price, Tracy. Oh, here we go. Annie has some success. It looks like $20. How is it spelled? Is it just Zora? Maybe just type Zora poster. Well, you know what I mean? Instead of, there you go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just to I don't know if
sometimes it's the easiest way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Okay. Same ballpark, Tracy, like $20 or so. I have some movie posters too that long tail, as they say. They just, unfortunately, I've only sold. I bought like 25 of them in one lot purchase, and for like
Oh, here
$5
we go.
piece.
Yeah, $20. There they are.
2019. So it's been a couple years. Yep, there they are.
Wow.
Is
Do
that
you
the
still
one?
have this poster for sale by chance?
I think you got a buyer. I think you got a buyer in Colorado.
Give you $20.
I'll give you $20. Cult. Yeah, exactly. It looks like a cult film or something.
Those are cool. That's one of those where you look at this and you're like, this person did not know how to price this.
Yeah.
This is an original poster. It's folded. That means it's at least early 80s.
Oh yeah.
That was 71.
70s.
Yeah, they could have sold this for $199. And that's what annoys me when they don't know the value of something. The perceived value of something.
Perceived value. It's a scarce item. It took how many searches to find? There's only been a couple.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd put it up for a nice high amount and see what happens.
I would too.
I mean, if you're not looking to offload it immediately, if it's something you've been hanging on to, put a hardy price on there and let it ride a little bit. Because there'll be that one person that's been looking for this their whole life and like, oh my God.
They don't know. Yeah, they don't know that it went for $20 2 years ago.
Exactly.
They see that and they're like,
right.
That's the kind of thing I want on my wall. Just
exactly.
Because it's a nice piece of art.
Yeah, your average buyer is going to go through the research we go through as resellers. I mean, I think we all kind of have that mindset that we're going to do all this research. Joe Blow down the street that's just looking to buy something is not going to go to this length of, I don't think, this length of detail to find something. They're just going to say, oh my God, I want that poster. I've been looking for that forever.
Probably like the purest of niche collectors. They know the value of their stuff and what it's going to cost them.
But I think the vast majority of everyday buyers on the platform are just looking for what they want. And I hate to be this way, but most people are just inherently lazy and they're not going to search 20 different listings to try to save 30 cents. They're going to, oh, there it is. The first one that kind of comes up. I mean, that's, again, with exceptions, obviously, if something's really flooded and, it's a kind of known commodity. But when something like this, that's, once every 5 years, it shows up on eBay, people that want it are going to buy it. So do you want to sell it for $20 or $50 or $75?
Tracy, put that poster up, put it up for big money, and then please show it in a video when you sell it. Because that's just I love stuff like that. I love stuff like that, and not just because it's a half naked lady. I mean,
nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. It could be a half naked man.
Well,
let's
not go nuts.
Okay.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like Annie said, it looks like some kind of cult film or something. Like look at the name. Who is it? Dolly Sharp. I mean,
probably some sexploitation or some kind of thing back in the day.
Look at this, Tracy. Hold on.
What?
Hot off the presses.
Love vintage movie posters.
Good stuff. How many you have in the video, Tracy? You have a whole bunch, or you just we featuring a couple of really big ones? Or are you just kind of showing? Let me just see what it says. Premiere, all vintage.
97%. Yeah. Nothing to do with it, Annie.
Nothing to do.
Man of culture.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll tell you real quick on movie posters, though. We picked up a lot of probably 250 from the mid 80s to the mid 90s, and it was awesome. It's been great. Yeah. What was not great is photographing those things.
Yes, that's so big. Yeah.
You have if you're going to do them all at a time, and you better have like a process, and you better have another human, like just like
rolling them out. When I literally stood on a chair to get mine to get the vantage point that I needed, and exactly, my wife was there switching them out, and because you want to do justice, you want to show, with everything on eBay, you want to take a good photo, but especially something like this, and I had the same style of post. I forgot what it's called, like a half sheet or something. There's a term. And
One
they're
sheet.
almost always folded like this. Because at first I was thinking, oh man, that's going to take away. It's kind of understood that that's how they came from
That's how they came.
studios, right? They were,
Yeah.
and I know they
Until
have
the
some
mid
sort of
80s.
unique.
The
Yeah.
mid 80s is about when they started switching over. Late 80s.
Okay.
To rolled. Yeah. It's called a one sheet.
A one sheet. There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
I have some
And
lists.
a lot of them are double-sided. Double-sided ones sell for more.
Okay.
And then some of the double-sided will have like a serial number on the back or something like that.
Yes, exactly. There's a number
those are
on a
numbered.
unique identifier, like, and then like the first one is the year it was made or something, and like the film, like the studio, like the 100th film from
know
that.
Yeah.
Cool. Seriously, Travis, if you're really into this, look at my store. I think I have like 20 of these. Like, see if there's anything you're interested in. Really,
you got
like
any Zora Knows Best?
What's that?
You have any Zora Knows Best?
I don't have any Zora Knows Best, but if you're into movies and stuff, you sound like a movie guy.
I'll check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. It's cool. I think I have like 18.
If you get some mobile offers tonight for a bunch of your posters, I'm not saying it's me.
I might even cut you a deal. But if you're seriously, if you're interested in them, I'd be happy to.
I will.
Yeah, check it out. We have a few, and I'm not a big movie buff.
Tracy's video on Wednesday.
That's right. Let's put that back up.
There you go. That's how it works.
That's how the world works, right? And like I said, Tracy and Annie too, feel free to drop a link to your YouTube channels in the comments. I hope you're able to. If you're not able to, let me know and I'll figure out a way to add it. I might put it in the description of the video once it's after it's live. It stays out there, so I'll put links to your guys' channels happily.
Are any of you guys in his thrift battle? Have you guys done any thrift battle for Dom?
I have not. No.
Yes, Annie, that's correct. They're so very, very cool. They're thick. They're thicker too. And light boxes are expensive, but if I could find a nice light box for one price, I'd put that in there and I'd just rotate them through it. They're just so beautiful.
I was just going to ask the question: the double sided, are they different images, or it's the same one on both sides?
It's the reverse. It's
a reverse. Okay.
Think of it as see-through.
Okay.
The image is reversed, so the light just blows right through it. And
like
it just
opaque.
looks amazing. Yeah.
Very cool.
Even even bad movies, if they're so bad that the video store wouldn't even list them, bundle them together. There are a bunch. We had a whole bunch that weren't worth our trouble even listing, and someday I'll just sell them to a collector who wants to deal with it. But they had to be worth what I thought $20, bottom line $15, plus shipping to list, and there was a bunch that just weren't.
Gives me 1 second. I'm gonna I'll just link directly to the ladies' YouTube. In the comments. Travis, you got to get on YouTube, man. You're a natural.
This is it, man. This is my origin story.
That's right. And let me get Tracy.
There we go.
Everybody see that?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I already subscribed to those two ladies.
Oh yeah, automatic.
Yeah, I don't need them.
Well, Annie, I've known for a couple of years now from Auction Professor. She's on all the time with Auction Professor, so we've chatted on and off watching his show
cool.
many times. Tracy, I hear
Auction Professor talk about Annie all the time.
Oh,
I always wondered who that was until she showed up on the video with us, and that was fun.
World famous Annie.
Crocodile Dundee too? That's pretty cool, man. That's a cool one. That's got a following. I think you could sell that for $20 minimum plus ship. At least. Nice. Well, how many more hours you got? 4,899, 98?
Something like that. I just want to make sure I get Tracy. No, it's really exciting watching people type. Sorry about this, folks. I just want to make sure I get The links in there for everybody to follow. There we go. There you go.
Okay.
Good stuff. I don't know why I didn't just do that initially. I was like, let them do it. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I could do it.
Yeah. Annie's right. Lame rom-coms, romantic comedy posters, unless they're like John Hughes stuff from the 80s, and they're not worth even doing anything with. Nothing.
I got a question. Is there a golden age for movie posters? Like, does it correlate with the golden age of Hollywood necessarily, or is it like the Star Wars stuff is like the Grail now, or like what's hot?
I would say that I think you're right on the ages. I think they correlate.
Okay.
I would say that. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have anything else. I think you said it best.
Like, does Gone with the Wind have a movie poster? You know what I mean? Like, just to say something crazy. The Wizard of Oz. Like, would you have found? I guess obviously they had them, right? So like, I would think that's worth a couple of bucks. You know.
Probably, definitely. They've been reproduced so much,
right?
So to find anything original, even Star Wars at this point, to find original Star Wars posters, you're even people that would have one know what it's worth. So you're going to pay up to get that.
Right. Yeah.
But in my collection that we picked up, there was, the movie Willow.
Yeah, sure.
So we got a folded Willow, and that one we kept because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But the Abyss was one that was folded, and then there was a number of trying to think, a number of Disney ones. The original Aladdin and Lion King.
Sure.
I think I sold the Lion King for $100. I sold a Die Hard for $100.
Wow. Good money.
There was one that I sold for more than that, but it's just not coming to mind right now.
Where do you find them?
This was an online estate sale. This was a movie theater. Some guy had bought them or worked for a movie theater a long time ago, and they were just cleaning out the estate. And they lotted them all together.
Wow.
I think I paid $650 for 250 movie posters, and I'm well into the profit at this point.
Beautiful.
But not for the faint of heart, because that is a lot of movie posters to take photos of and capture all the tears and stuff. Brutal. Yep. Tracy's got good taste. Yeah, Willow.
Yeah, Willow.
Yeah. I agree, Annie. We were kind of talking about that earlier. Not just movies, but just there's everything. There's like an end. There's an end to an era.
We was right. What's the end? Like if a generation falls off, does a certain genre too? Like we were saying postcards. Popeye had mentioned in one of his videos about fearing that like there's not a lot of young blood in postcard collecting, for instance, right? At all. Like, is that just going to kind of fade into oblivion over time and pretty, not too far?
You know what? That's her point. And that point is very similar to what we were talking about with the sheet music. No one cares about the sheet music in there. You can listen to it. You can find it online. But the Art Deco or whatever design that is on those turn of the century sheet music are beautiful pieces of art that someone might want to put up. And I think that might be the way for the posters at some point as well.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people do just like frame the sheet music for the covers and stuff. I think you're right. They're not like necessarily putting up on the piano and playing them. Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh yeah, you sold that one too?
Yeah, that was it. I think that was $150 one.
That's your top one so far?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then there was some other ones that I have listed that they always get watchers, and it was a perceived value thing. Captain America was a movie in the 90s that was going to be a theater. This is well before Disney, Marvel's type stuff.
Right.
This is when Marvel comic book movies were all B movies. Mm-hmm. And they came out with this terrible, terrible Captain America movie. So terrible, but that the movie theaters said, we're not playing that. So it ended up going to, the VCR, VHS. Mm-hmm. But the posters had already been sent in some small supply to the movie theaters. So that was one of the ones I've got. And I just picked I put a huge number on it.
Yeah.
Because at this point I feel like, no one liked that movie, but the artwork, it's just a big shield.
And look what Tracy just wrote. Someone out there cares. And that could be said for anything you're trying to sell on eBay, right? Someone out there. It's just such a, and eBay gets knocked now and then for glitches and all this stuff. But I mean, really, at the end of the day, I can't think of any other platform. Even Amazon, like, I don't know Amazon enough for collectibles and whatnot. I know it's pretty hard to even get them up. eBay is the by far the biggest player in that. And you're going to reach the most amount of people that are looking for movie posts. You're not going to sell a movie post. I don't think. You're not going to sell a Willow poster on Amazon. You know what I mean? It's eBay. It's eBay.
Yeah, I don't think so. Annie, okay, so both Annie and Tracy are talking about Tron.
Okay.
Which
here we go.
Is
Pretty Lady.
My childhood favorite memory is Tron. Now I love Tron. This is my wife got this for me for Christmas. I've yet to put it up, but this is like the home video. This would have been the one they would have put in the movie or in the video store. It's the smaller one. That looks
pretty mint.
That thing looks great. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, my wife got that for me for Christmas. So yeah, Tracy, if you ever need any yard work done or something like that, or you need some painting on your barn, I'm good with a painter or whatever they use these days for it. Maybe something to spray it.
There you go.
Yeah, I can be bought for Tron swag.
There you go. Maybe you'll even cobble some shoes. What do you think?
I'll cobble anything. It won't even have to be just shoes.
We got cobble anything.
Yeah. You need a couple bricks cobbled together. I'll do that
too. We got to
Yeah.
learn cobbling. There's got to be a cobbling channel out there.
Yeah. No, I want to see. That's your next segment next time. Lead off with a cobble if you really want to bring them in.
Oh, please! I might even tease that. I'm gonna tease that.
That'll be the thumbnail.
That'll be the thumbnail. Cobbler. We'll have like Geppetto there. Picture of Geppetto with a big one theater.
They're talking about Tron.
The size of the poster, right? Is that like you were saying? What is it? A one page or whatever?
She might be talking about a like an even bigger one. Not really sure. Like the big vinyl ones.
Yeah,
Welcome, Carrie.
That's Mrs. Flippet right there.
Is that Mrs. Flippet?
It's Mrs. Flippet, who forgot to use spell check. Tron movies. That was the 80s, honey. She's a young lass, my wife, so she probably doesn't remember Tron. But
what
was Tron like 82?
Trauma. If it's not a typo, and I think it's not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying Tron.
No, she's talking about like
my apologies, honey.
Toxic Avenger type stuff.
Oh, I gotcha.
Those really B-C movie whatevers.
Yeah.
And they're coming back out with a new Toxic Avenger where the Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones, I think, is playing the Toxic Avenger or something like that. So that could help bring about that kind of thing. So I anything horror, anything gross, anything that you can put on a wall that's horror or gross.
Yeah, here I am making fun of my wife.
You making fun of her? Maybe right. I'm just completely wrong. I
thought because everybody was talking about Tron, I thought it was a misspell for Tron, but okay, trauma.
No,
trauma. There we go.
Trauma. I don't know what trauma is.
Yeah,
I thought I knew.
Annie does though. Annie knows it's something else. That's all that matters.
Should have just. I think she was probably asking Annie and didn't want to waste her time asking us.
Yeah, just go right to Annie. Let's be honest.
I went off on my thing. So what is trauma? Trauma.
See, there's a cobbling channel, 18th century, of course. And she was, of course I do.
It's on the History Channel.
So somebody has to watch that, right? Annie, have you ever seen a video from a guy who does cooking and stuff from the 18th century? I don't know why. You know how sometimes you just get stuff suggested to you for no reason at all on YouTube? You could be watching 100 Disney videos in the row, and all of a sudden there'll be a cobbling video pop up, right? Well, there's this guy that like lives like it's 1780 all the time. He dresses the part and everything, and he goes through cookbooks from the period, and he's like, I'm going to make an oatmeal recipe from 1786, and it's really, really, believe it or not, one of those things that you think, what the heck? And then you find yourself watching one video. Oh, look at this one. How did they make turkey in 1773? Oh, how did they make chicken soup? I didn't know they had grilled cheese, and it just becomes that rabbit hole where you're watching. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Schizophrenia in the 18th century. That's next week.
Totally, that sells.
See, that's what I was talking about. Okay.
Tromeo and Juliet.
Tromeo and Juliet.
Honey, I was telling everybody earlier about your escapades as a manager at the video store. And I was Travis was mentioning how a lot of those VHS tapes are worth some bucks. So we're gonna have to go through.
Empties. Don't even need the tape.
Don't even need the tape, apparently. I'm sure it adds value, right?
Oh,
if
yeah.
You happen to have the tape.
Yeah,
yep. See, I knew she'd watch that guy. Yeah,
oh my God.
It's just one of those stupid things you would never think you'd be interested in. I didn't. I mean, I actually like cooking and all, but I must have watched 50 of his videos. Like, it just became one of those things where one leads to the next and the next, and medieval cooking. Wow. Well, being from Salem, that whole wacky kind of cult stuff, it's kind of cool. Who knows what was cooked in medieval times? I guess cookbooks, right? Everybody's going back to cookbooks.
They would just pass them. There was no cookbooks. It was just like they just passed that along.
Right.
And stuff, right?
Yeah, seriously. Medieval is pre-printing press, right? Come on, you don't know that? Right? Annie, wasn't that pre-printing?
Tracy or Annie, I hope.
Let's ask Annie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure printing press is like 14 something. Uh-oh, here we go. Tracy with a copy and paste.
Wikipedia happening here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I thought it was Lloyd Kaufman. See?
Wow. You guys are fantastic.
Man. Porridge.
Lots of porridge, yeah. Anybody ever watch The Little Rascals when they were a kid? Remember The Little Rascals?
Bit. Yeah.
There's an episode where Spanky, I think, says, "Don't eat the mush." They used to call porridge or oatmeal mush. Don't eat the mush. Why? It's spoiled. Somebody will get that reference. Mush. Would you ever want to eat anything called?
I got that reference.
Would you ever want to eat anything called mush? No.
No.
Absolutely not.
No. I've cooked some things that look like mush, but no, not on purpose.
I'm thinking lots of porridge and lots of like animal byproducts. I'm thinking like hooves are being consumed at that point. You know what I mean? Whatever you can get.
Now we're talking.
You figured the royalty got the meat and you got what was left.
Oh, yeah.
Hoof soup. You know what I mean?
Hoof soup.
Oxtail soup is actually a very popular item, but I bet you go back, it's probably from like byproducts and stuff, right?
That's probably somebody that had some nostalgia. Oh yeah, my great grandmother was raised on oxtail soup. Let's make it. There we go. Divine now.
Annie confirming the time frame. Good. Printing press is late medieval.
Yeah, so we got some trauma video movie information coming. We got some porridge.
We got medieval cooking. You find everything on the Jiminy Flip at YouTube live show, folks.
You're gonna have probably a bunch of spin-off shows because you're just gonna get too big for one show.
That's what I'm hoping for. I like to call it gruel. Okay. Or a lot of veggies.
And hooves.
And hooves. Well, I know meat was always considered like the luxury item on any, table forever. Like, so veggies, they might have been poor in money, but I'm sure they were very healthy people. In fact, I know they must have been very healthy people out there working day and night. For everything that they had.
Oh, the rich people were punks eating peacocks back in the day.
Peacock.
That's just wrong.
Peacock cutlets or something? I mean, oof.
Yeah, peacock ribs, maybe. Like a rack of peacock.
Peacock soup. Peacock gumbo.
Oh, gross. Yeah.
Yeah. I scoff at those who eat peacock.
No friends of mine.
Here you go. So that's right. Still are, actually, aren't they? I don't know if that's...
I don't know if they do that anymore.
Has that been changed to some kind of like chemical glue at this point?
You would hope.
My wife, again, a horse gal, loves horses. And I know horses traditionally used to be used for glue, like literally. When they died or when they were killed, they would use the hooves for glue. Right, honey? If you're still awake?
She came in. She wanted to talk about trauma 90s
made
movies.
a point.
And
Made me
she's
look
like,
fool.
I'm done and I'm out.
She's done.
She's like, I'm not talking about hooves tonight.
Contribution complete. Yeah, turducken.
Now the big words are coming out.
Turducken I'm familiar with. That's actually kind of in vogue nowadays still, right? I think it's duck, turkey, and chicken.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know how people could eat this stuff. Hoof glue went out 100 years. All right, I'm a little behind. But I know for a fact that's how they made glue.
Why you quit spreading that false news?
Hey, you know what?
Fake news, I guess. Is
legally it went out 100 years ago, but let me just
somebody's
tell you,
still doing it. It's probably coming back. It's retro. It's nostalgia.
Yeah, it's coming back. It's
real horse hoof glue. Oof. Oh.
My poor wife. Without getting into too much
detail.
Talking
about you, or is that a horse?
Oh, no. She loves horses, rides horses since she's a little girl. Back on October 30th, she was catapulted from her horse. Oh. She suffered a very bad fracture, collarbone. She's still recovering. She's still on 100%. So now we're going to send this 1,400-pound horse out to we're going to revive the old hoof glue thing.
Ooh, put that on eBay, a whole lot of it. You got her crawling around on floors looking for ephemera?
This was long before the accident. Okay. I told you, we're not in the season yet. She's still upstairs. In fact, she's lifting as we speak, doing some chest presses.
Gonna get her she's working out and typing at the same time. Man.
Jello is
another segment on that.
Jello is not food. Jello is just putrid to me. Do you know what Jello is? Hooves and Jello, but I know Jello is still manufactured from gelatin, and gelatin is you ever have a piece of chicken with skin on it, and you pull the skin off slowly, and there's that kind of like little sticky residue. That's what gelatin is. And yep, it's like connective skin to bone, connective tissue, or something like that. Jello is putrid. Don't eat Jello, anyone.
Jello's out of
you're banned from the. You eat Jello.
Off the menu now.
Off the menu. Museums probably. Why would a museum use animal glue? Curious.
To hang photos and pictures. They glue it to the wall.
The back of all your patches in that book.
It's horse glue.
Hooves. Ridden with hooves. Man,
I'm gonna have to steam the hooves out of it.
That's a highlight for your listing. Hoof free. 100%
hoof free. Hooves have been removed.
Hooves have been removed wherever possible. Yeah, say Jello is just a nasty product. It really is. There's no place on a table. There you go, Annie. Good girl. Stay away. Disgusting.
Okay.
I mean, there's just something so free. Let's be honest. If we talk about Jello for a second, picture a plate of Jello in front of you. It's just not natural. It's just not a thing of this earth. You know what I mean? You could tell it's it's not a natural food product in any way, shape, or form. Even when I was a little kid, I skeeved Jello. I didn't know why. But if you were sick, they used to give you Jello.
Huh.
For your throat, like if you had a really bad sore throat, you could have some Jello.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Well, they were trying to keep you hydrated because there's water.
Yeah. As Tracy goes off and makes that Jello. Little strawberry, what flavor? Oh, lime. Excuse me, she said lime.
I do like some lime Jello, man.
Do you really?
Yeah. That's the only flavor I'll eat would be lime.
Slap a little. What is that
cream
stuff?
And lime Jello.
I was whipped cream at least. You're not using what is that fake whipped cream called? I'm blanking on the name. Cool Whip. Little Cool Whip. Little Cool Whip.
I do that too. I'm not picky. Yeah, I'll do it. Hell, I'll eat hooves. I'll eat horse hoof Jello.
Will you?
I might as well have some Cool Whip.
They do make vegan Jello. Interesting.
What is that made out of?
Getting back to the medieval people, they ate Jello. Wow, that's just insane.
Oh. This chat just went off the rails.
It's all right. You know, everything's subject to discussion here. Towers of Jello. Oh. They didn't take a bath, but they ate Jello. Very interesting group of people, let me tell you.
Maybe they bathed in Jello. Wasn't it
There's
that
these medieval.
serial
They
killer
did.
lady?
Horse hoof. Well, what else? As we skeeve, as we go down the skeeve path, how about aren't a lot of soap products made of like whale blubber and stuff? That used to be the old thing. Whale blubber,
Probably
I think.
also 100 years
So,
ago. I don't think you
hey,
can hunt whale anymore.
no, I know I think the Russians do for some reason, or some group does. And they're like, there's like fines involved now if you get caught.
That's why I had to stop.
Yeah.
It's getting way too expensive to make my soap. I can just go to an estate sale for a quarter a bar.
Where do you keep your whale blubber?
Yeah.
Right behind the comics.
Yeah. It's down there behind the toilet brush.
It's right next to the antacid.
Yeah. Buckets and
I think
buckets.
that's how you spell gelatin. I'm not looking it up. For some reason, I think that's how you spell it.
I think this is a good. I can ask my wife if she, because I think dinner is being cooked down there. I gotta ask her. Hey Rachel, if you're still watching, is dinner on the table? Is it?
Yeah, you guys. Up? It's 9:30 here. You guys, I forgot it's still early though. I'm like, dinner.
Did you eat dinner before this?
I did, yes, because we went on at 7 our time. I had dinner about 6 or so.
Annie says they're still whaling.
Piece of delicious salmon I made myself. Some broiled salmon with some butter and just simple pleasures in life. So good.
Well, I think we're having like a Jello.
Yeah, with some peacock cutlets and some hoof soup.
Oh God, I hope. If HelloFresh is delivered like they're supposed to, there'll be some peacock on there.
A strong, New England, sure.
Dinner's ready. Look at that.
All right, well, go enjoy your dinner as we approach 9:30. I would like to
good.
Thank you so much, Travis. I appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah.
It was a ball. Had a lot of fun. Didn't list anything, but so what? We had a great conversation. Talked about a lot of products, right?
A lot of went weird there at the end.
Went weird at the end, but that's just the tiredness setting in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your dinner is. Oh, she said yes. Dinner is okay.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, especially to all our guests. But Tracy and Annie, thank you so much. Rachel Griffin, thank you so much. My lovely wife, thank you so much. And everybody else that enjoyed the show, we really appreciate it. We'll see. This might be a weekly feature. Why not? I really appreciate it. What's that? Yeah. Well, you down for that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. I got it on video. That's your signature. That's your electronic
signature. You can edit it out, right? I take all these great ideas and go make my own channel.
There you go. Hold on. Annie's got, well, first we got feathers off the peacocks and put them.
Good God,
after it was cooked. That's like a garnish, I guess. They would put the, was that the last fun fact, or do you have another one? That might have been it.
I think you can't top that.
That's going to be hard to top.
And boy, am I hungry.
Save it for next time. And boy, am I hungry. Rachel, did you make the peacock cutlets tonight or no? Are you going to slum it with chicken or something?
Yeah, probably chicken.
So typical.
Yeah.
Thank you, Annie. Thanks, everybody. I'll set something up. We'll try to do Monday nights, I think, if it works for everybody. Don't want to step on toes out there with any other resellers or anything. Just pick the night because we were both available tonight. But Monday nights, if it works for you, Travis, we'll do it again next week. All right, man. Thank you very much.
Right.
Be sure to visit Travis's page. I have it linked. Visit Annie and Tracy's YouTube page. Visit our page. Like and subscribe. And thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.